Producer Dan Schneider has responded to the allegations made against him in the documentary Quiet on Set, stating he agrees with the accusers and has already been punishing himself by growing this really bad goatee.
Schneider continued, "Look at me. Could anything the law does be worse than this? I look like Fat Bastard meets Rip Torn meets a disgruntled hockey coach whose kid isn't even on the team, and I don't plan to shave it off anytime soon. That's how committed I am to this punishment."
Schneider's agent has commented on the matter, saying, "My client is pledged to walk around Hollywood looking like a potato that was rolled around in the floor trimmings of a dog barbershop. If that's not enough for people to let him work again, I don't know what is."
A parent of one of the child actors has stated, "After seeing the facial hair, I more so just felt bad for him. It looked like a dying squirrel on a dying Patrick from SpongeBob," and said that he hoped that other celebrities like P. Diddy would consider making amends with a similar humiliation ritual.
The boys. It's the boys cast. The lads. It's the boys cast. The dudes. Prepare yourself for boys cast. The bros. It's the boys cast. The homies. It's the boys cast. The dudes. Experience the boys cast.
The Boys Cast. We are here. This week, there's been 10,000 different takedowns. We have Kurt Metzger in the studio. This is an exclusive.
The first podcast I did after Alex Jones yesterday.
You did Jones yesterday?
So this is my post Alex Jones appearance.
Okay. Let's fucking go.
Go. I just watched him with Rabbi Shmuley.
Rabbi Shmuley showed up.
Rabbi Shmuley showed up, and literally,
wait, Shmuley was there when you were there?
No, Rabbi Shmuley just did Alex Jones. I was like watching it like 5 minutes ago.
Alex invited him on. So
I invited him on for all the crazy stuff, and then he asked out because Rabbi Shmuley's talking all this weird sex stuff and saying that Alex Jones got a small piece, and then Alex Jones was like, "He's like, you got a butt plug in right now?" It was like.
Shmuley's incredible, man.
So I had this joke forever about Michael Jackson, about how Rabbi Shmuley used to hang out with him and Oprah.
Yeah.
It sounds like an old, a rabbi. Then we did a story on Jimmy's show where he was having a debate with a Muslim guy, and the Muslim guy's name is also hilarious. I don't know if you Google rabbi debates. They both sound like their names are racial or like slurs.
Yeah.
The other guy was like Jajam Muhammad something, but it sounded like you made up a name to make fun of
like
Muslims.
Muhammad Jihad.
It was some shit. Yeah. It was like Gurkha Jihad. And I remember laughing. I'm like, what in the hell is this? And then he's with his daughter because it's called kosher.
Yeah,
sex.
They have a sex.
So he helps his daughter sell.
They're kosher dildos.
Yeah, kosher dildos.
Yeah, I'm not Jewish, but I feel like that's probably. It doesn't seem kosher.
I'd rather you not use butt plugs, but if you are going to, I'd rather they be kosher.
He's like a hustler that Oprah's not on anymore, and they all got to find you.
Yeah. He loves attention. That guy is. The thing is, it's crazy. He took it to offense that he was called. Who called him an attention whore? Someone called him an attention whore, and he's like, I
call him a dirty schmooly.
So maybe what? Candace Owens, maybe, or someone called him dirty schmooly.
Oh!
Someone called him an attention whore, and he's like, "You called me a whore," and you're like, "No, they called you an attention." Oh, Jeremy Boring called him an attention whore.
He's like Mehdi Hassan level piece of shit, but not as successful.
The biggest attention whore. It's ridiculous. Like he's like, there's no such thing as negative.
But he did the video because people were saying he's like, kind of attacking him, and then he made a video where he puts on the Jewish nose. Puts on the Jewish nose.
No, he didn't need to do that.
It was for Purim.
Yeah, he's doing a Lord of the Rings thing. He had all these dollar bills taped to him or whatever.
Yeah.
Dollar bills.
No, it was like a money shirt, and it said like. He had like Israeli flags.
Dude, that would be like if P. Diddy, like after his accusations, he had a bunch of like dolls of like little boys and then just like taped them and look at me, I'm fucking little boy.
So
it was for Purim though, because Purim is like Jewish Halloween.
I know, but
so that was his costume.
Like those aren't stereotypes. Like I've never heard of a Jewish.
The nose one might be a little.
Okay,
bit.
you already have that.
You're saying the money in the nose isn't Jewish?
Okay, look, I heard a lot. Wait.
And
a lot of Jewish conspiracy. I never heard of a Jewish money shirt.
Yeah,
there would be pennies first of all. Not dollars.
Yeah, it would not be like paper currency.
Yeah, like I don't get what his joke is.
Well, he's saying that he's just like, I guess they were saying that he just loves. So he's like, I love money, and I'm drinking. He had this red like
lampshading what he is.
Yeah, but he had this red thing, and he's like, this red cup, and he's like, I love this Christian blood. I mean, he's a lunatic.
But yeah, I guess he was saying like, as if I'm actually doing this, and then he takes off. The cameras turn off. He takes off his money shirt. He has another one underneath.
Is that real?
Oh, I'm just saying.
God, he's funny if he did that.
He takes off the costume and then he has the one that he actually wears.
That's
underneath.
a good bit.
Yeah,
like if he did, like, it's pretty good.
nah, he's not doing anything.
He's like, you saw Michael, because I get all my news from Michael Rappaport, first of all, and so he posted him.
Yeah,
on the phone.
That's fun. That was actually kind of funny, troll. I'm not a big fan of his, but
it's not a troll. It's lampshading again.
Yeah.
He is.
What's lampshading?
When you make it like, oh, I guess I'm a murderer then.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, you're a murderer.
It's like OJ. Did you see
for jokes?
Man, OJ.
Oh yeah, I tried to fuck your sister.
Yeah. You know what I saw, which I'm sorry to derail this, but it was like one of the craziest things I've ever seen was OJ when like all the stuff was going on with like the
BLM?
He wrote the no with the
that was funny too.
That was funny, but the murder, and then he got interviewed when his book came out, like the If I Did It or whatever.
Yeah.
And then this woman.
What if he did?
Is that lampshading?
But this woman is like reporter or whatever. She's asking him like about it, and he's like, no. She's like, did you kill her? He's like, no. And then they took like a break or whatever, and then there's like a knock. I guess he like left, and there's like a knock on the door, and she opens the door, and he's holding a knife, and he goes, like it's a joke.
Wait,
this is a real video. I could not believe I've never seen it. I'll find it for you.
Wait, when was this that he did this?
This is like in the 90s.
Because Sasha played a prank on him on the show.
I remember that. Yeah, were you writing on that one?
Ann Hines wrote that sketch. It's really funny. The girl doesn't know who he is, and he goes, football leg. He go and like he goes, OJ.
Oh, maybe that's what it's from. That's from that.
Yeah, OJ. But
I thought it was a real interview.
Wait, no. Sasha Cohen was the fake billionaire. This is before Epstein. He's a fake billionaire that needs.
Which show was
Sasha
that?
Cohen's in trouble right now
America?
too. He's the list of the cancellations this week.
When I worked on the show. It was like towards the end we were on like a lockdown because Rebel Wilson tried to do a fake Me Too on him. She's
coming after him.
She's coming after him.
If you believe Rebel Wilson,
is it this? That's the chick.
What?
This video right here. Sorry, I know people can't see it.
I can't see it all.
Oh, sorry.
What is it?
That's not from. I mean, is that the Sacha Baron Cohen show?
This is the Sacha Baron Cohen show. Yeah.
Who?
Is it this video right here?
No.
Let's see. No, I don't know what that is.
Genuinely was surprised. I think it was his idea of a joke. And this is it.
Dude, that's amazing.
That's not from Sacha Baron Cohen?
No, that's for old.
Yeah, that's old. Yeah. Okay,
None of us, no one in the room knew that existed.
Dude, I have never seen this. I'm like, I can't believe. I'll send it to Johnny. We'll put it up on the screen.
Dude, send that to me.
It's fucking crazy.
It is pretty funny.
Isn't that so nuts? Like, while everyone's like, you're a murderer.
That's lampshading. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I guess
that's
so.
CTE. I think that might just be full on CTE.
I mean, he didn't do it. I know you guys are racist. You don't want to see a black man succeed in his relationships.
That was one of the better things you said.
What?
I think you posted it, but you go, the guy was the first doctor of color to kill Michael Jackson.
Oh, yeah, and that Shmuley Michael Jackson bit, I packed that one in there.
So what did Shmuley do with Michael Jackson? He was his
spiritual advisor.
Spiritual advisor.
Right.
They would have like Shabbat dinner every Friday, and like it was like they were like really close.
I'll bet you they weren't as close as Rabbi Shmuley would
like to believe.
Rabbi Shmuley has, because I was just like reading about it actually just yesterday, and Rabbi Shmuley, after his death, released like he had like 30 hours of recordings.
Rabbi Shmula.
Yes, that sounds like not a good friend.
No, but it was like approved by the Jackson estate to like release them to like, and he wrote a book about him and Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
so like the real Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I know. Conrad Murray wrote a thing about how the main thing I do with the jokes is what's the coolest drug, like the top of the line. And people will be like cocaine or like the adrenochrome. And like, I've never seen that. I never found that one.
Yeah.
But it's propofol.
Propofol, yeah.
Michael Jackson's milk.
The milk. Mother's milk.
And and you know why he had, he needed that to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, I have to have a colonoscopy to get that. That sweet.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's like surgery, basically.
But to go to bed, he would. Well, on tour, he's been dancing all day. Yeah. Can't get to sleep without propofol. And I go, you know why? Because he was innocent. That's why he needs the dark, dreamless sleep. Surgery drugs every single night. Because he didn't do nothing.
He did not.
Shit.
It be, like all these things are like Cat Williams. I remember was way back when I thought, oh, maybe he's just one of these asexual guys that whatever. And
Michael, he said that about Michael. You thought that about Michael Jackson.
Yeah, like I think he doesn't fuck anything, is what I thought. But Cat Williams had this funny joke, like his amusement park and the shit in his, and it's like right in your dumb fucking face. I don't have any feeling like when I was a kid in Ohio, in Cleveland, when Michael Jackson came out with the moonwalk and all that. So I was in the first grade. Okay, I still remember this girl Trina and this dude Jovan. This other dude, Kenneth, okay, and Mrs. Taub's first grade class at Thomas Jefferson Elementary in Euclid. And Michael Jackson was so... Now, I was Jehovah's Witness, and I wasn't allowed to, like... He was disfellowship, you know, the Thriller was, like, demonic.
Yeah.
Because he's werewolf zombie dancing. And I also didn't I've never understood... I never had that raw animal attraction Michael Jackson that I watched. I'll never forget it. They were cutting out pictures from magazines of Michael Jackson and taking paste and pasting it to the ends of their desk and hanging it out. The three of them. This white girl,
men. Oh, okay.
2 black kids and 1 white girl. We're all like 6, right? And he put up a sign. Jovan put up a sign that said "for sale." They're not for sale. They're just playing that that's like raw sexual charisma of the Beatles, where the French girl like, yee!
Oh yeah.
Children did that about Michael Jackson. I never did or understood it. It's probably because I was like churchy. And I wasn't. I have no idea why people have this thing of like
he's the biggest rock star in the world, I guess, at the time.
pop star,
A biggest star period in the world.
But he's sort of a rock star too, because it wasn't.
He's very talented.
Like it was crossing over to the R&B stuff, where it wasn't just pop. Like I know they said King of Pop, but he was sort of.
Well, here's my point.
He was like people thought he was cool. He was like a pop star the way that
right.
Jay-Z's a pop.
Well,
star.
everybody dressed like a bitch in back in the day. They were talented though. They didn't
It
just
was
go,
a-
I'm a half a chick. They play guitar.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, what I remember about that is how excited those kids were, and those two black boys and 1 white girl. And I said this to fucking Post Malone, who was saying that like, well, I think he was just. Last time I was on, I'm like, well, how come it's all little white boys? His mother, Eunice Jackson, goes, how come he just hangs out? How come he doesn't have any little black friends? You know, if you hang out with boys and you're Michael Jackson, I saw 2 kids that would have dreamed to hang out at his house and do whatever he wanted.
Do you think it was just because black kids don't get those opportunities, sort of thing?
It's structural.
Well, partly, you know, he's not attracted to them.
The final form of
No. Listen, based on his own face, you can tell he's not attracted to that. But also, the reason it's all white boys is because those are his Asian chicks.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a fetish. You're just a guy that legit hangs out with boys. You know,
black
like
kids.
I feel bad for guys like that are just legitimately sleeping over with boys with no, just to have a good time.
Macaulay Culkin apparently says he never tried.
You can't get it. Yeah, of course not. You're not. But I bet he took it out on that other one. Of course not. A high profile. He's actually.
He probably made some of the other kids do the shaves.
Yeah.
Okay, Jehovah's Witnesses. You got to understand what he comes out of, and Jehovah's Witness is like long game plan. Their game is not like he would never make an attempt on Macaulay Culkin. That's like a thing that can get exposed. He would do a long, slow, like, you know, your friends and you date move with a boy.
I guess it's sort of like if you have like a chick that's really hot and you're just friends with her and you're smashing all her friends and you're just like, she's my gateway to like all of this like high end puss.
Well, that's the best.
And if I had
that's a
sex
good,
with her, like I'm actually closing off all.
No, that's
Macaulay
the best
Culkin
move.
to him.
That's what A Beautiful Mind is about. What you were just saying. I'm pretty sure that's what game theory is.
Yeah. You're just like,
to this
yes,
day.
if I smash Macaulay, the whole operation
No,
falls
Macaulay.
down.
That's right. Macaulay slept over, never did nothing. Corey Feldman. He wasn't attracted.
Brings in Macaulay. How many other kids did Macaulay
I think-
Culkin tell the water's fine, come in?
I think
He's a bit of a Ghislaine, Macaulay Culkin.
not intentionally. She didn't. I think
He has a band called the Pizza Underground. Do what you will with that.
I think what's his name? Corey Feldman wasn't talented enough of a dancer for Michael to like him.
Yeah, he sort of was
'Cause he
turned off when he
dresses-
saw him dance.
Like imagine
It's weird because he does a version of him right now. Like if
he
you watch,
dresses,
he dresses like
to this day.
to this day he dresses like Michael Jackson.
Okay, so imagine that somebody that is like
Long hair.
No, Corey, you want it too bad.
Yeah, a little thirsty, Corey Feldman. A
I
little too
like
thirsty.
Corey as a friend.
Okay, so you know what? Let's start with of the ones we're going through. Diddy was the first one, and I actually P. Diddy's probably the biggest one, and I've of the last little bit, and I saw a pretty funny video of 50 Cent recently being like,
apparently 50 Cent has
been
been
talking about it.
Dude, he has apparently coming out very soon a full documentary about all this stuff.
50 Cent's pretty funny, and he's also
He's
been banging the
fucking
drum on Diddy
hilarious.
for it. But he basically said he was like, I remember when I first met him, and he came, and he's like, why don't we go shopping together? And he goes, I'll pay for it and everything. And he goes, motherfucker thinks he's gonna take me shopping.
Yo,
50 Cent wasn't happy about being asked to go shopping.
When Kevin Hart, when he was getting real big, and so Jay was closer to Kev than me.
Okay.
And they would hang out and they would do shows and bang whores, all that shit, right? And boys, wait, don't say boys right now. So he would.
The boys catchphrase has definitely been fucking co-opted.
A bunch of comics that we started with in Philly, if somebody becomes really famous, you know at this point you met somebody where they became famous while you knew them, right?
Yeah.
And if they get big enough, you either have to be absorbed into their entourage or, right? Because they're busy. It's a full-time job, so they're going to need like their minor.
You can become scenery. Yeah.
Well, it's like a good living in a fucking you're a plastic cup boy. Kev produced special.
You get a compensation package that comes with
if you want to do that.
Member.
Yeah, if you want to do that, like for sure. I don't have any looking down on it or whatever. I don't. But so Jay wasn't like they're friends, and Kev was going to take him to buy him a watch or sneakers. I still remember this because Jay was like we were like broke. Kev was already like on his way to being rich, and he goes and Jay's telling me the story that Kev wanted to buy him sneakers or a watch or some dumb shit, and Jay was like mad.
He's like,
he goes, what
am I, your girlfriend?
Yeah, and it's more like he's sonning you. He's daddy.
Does Kevin Hart think in the black community is buying them sneakers sort of just like buying a bro a beer? 50 Cent didn't see it that way.
Question, you know what? You're steel manning Kevin Hart's argument. Dude, when I did Rogan on Wednesday, I brought up the Vince McMahon shitting on that girl's head. You know the Vince McMahon?
Oh, of course. Black dildos for black wrestlers, white dildos for white wrestlers.
This made me fucking laugh so hard. Rogan goes, okay, can I just steel man Mr. McMahon's side of the story
for 1 second?
That's the best application of steel man. He shit on someone's head in a 3-way. And told
Hopefully
them
at the end.
He goes, hey, I'm gonna get a shower, you guys finish up. I think we're all done, Vince.
Yeah, the shit is the kind of ends it.
So then we looked at the court document, which I didn't know. Like, I've been making wiseacre jokes about it this whole time, but Vince apparently went and got a shower while they were finishing up, then came back in and fucked her again.
After the shit.
She's still covered in shit. Ugh. Why are you even getting a shower, dude?
Yeah, why does he need a shower?
I do find it hard to believe
get another shower?
Vince is that into shit. I was saying that I think it's nice of Vince McMahon that he retired Dick Benoit after the incident. But
wait, it's the same as P. Diddy. It's not about P. Diddy. So I can't remember what I said. Jaguar Wright was some chick that worked for him. His ex-bodyguard Gene Deal during lockdown I watched him nonstop because. Who killed Tupac and Biggie? Turns out everybody has known for 30 years.
It does sound like it that they've...
No, they've known.
I mean, when we were during Skankfest, they arrested the guy, and they're like, he's been talking about it for the last 10 years that he killed Tupac.
So 20 years ago, it was like the Nick Broomfield documentary, Biggie and Tupac came out, and he did Kurt and Courtney, whatever, and it was like a big mystery to all the white people, and because of, there's so many platforms now not connected to anything, so that Vlad TV guy, I started seeing
the guy went on Vlad TV, exactly, yeah.
But then I started seeing this. What is disgruntled employees are snitching right and left, and it's fantastic.
Right now, too, because if it's kind of like a business move right now. It's like the most way that people get clout.
Dude, I said it on Rogan's show because people get like Joey Diaz.
Yeah.
Where he like the whole mafia has a podcast now. Right?
Yeah.
If you're wondering what
I had a guy on my show 2 weeks ago, Louis Ferrante, who's a former Gambino crime member, did like 9 years in jail, knew like the Gaudis, all that stuff.
Yeah, so they're all, and why wouldn't you be on, and so Sammy the Bull was the one that I really started watching. Like first I watched the guy that's who likes Jesus now, that hangs out with Jordan Peterson. I saw him with Jordan.
I think that was the original, right?
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy the Rats have podcasts. It's not even like the good guys. It's the Rats have podcasts.
Listen. So nuts. Just what you just said.
Used to be hard to track that guy down.
That's what I'm getting to. So you watch, like Sammy's he's kind of out of crime stories now.
Yeah.
Those guys all have a hard time figuring out what episode 6 looks like.
Yeah, and so Joey Merlino from Philly was like talking to Joey, I guess, and Merlino won't say he's in the mob or that there is a mafia. He just cracks jokes, and that might be the sustainable move for him to never, because he gets street cred, right? And he doesn't fall in the trap of telling you all his crimes, and he runs out of crimes.
Yeah, for sure.
So, so I said to Joey, though, I'm like, it's funny, you said a good guy in a
Yeah, it is true. A lot of those guys, episode 7, they're like, we raped a girl one time.
Everybody gets Stockholm syndrome. Watch, like, and that guy Charleston White I like because I could get
He's funny.
Well, but here's why I like him. The Stockholm syndrome of watching this shit and be like, oh yeah, that guy's a snitch, as if I'm in the mafia or give a fuck about their rule. First of all, good.
Yeah.
I have this show I like because you snitch. Everybody snitch. I don't give a fuck about I'm not in the mafia.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You got
on the Bloods and Creeds.
I wouldn't get involved with them.
It's just crazy though. You can snitch on a podcast and be a snitch, and they're just like they don't come and find you anymore. Like they just let you have a fucking podcast on YouTube.
You know what? It was a lot, much like Krav Maga. It was a lot of hype. Not a lot of,
I don't think it was in the '80s. I don't think it was a lot of hype. But now they're just just defanged.
Now there's one.
It's just barely a mob.
You better. First of all, they go where money is. So what are you better off doing? Starting a podcast?
You know what else? They ran out of stories where there's sort of still a good guy in them too. But I've seen a lot of these guys because they start out with stories about how, we were kind of, if anything, keeping the neighborhood safe. And then by like number 9, it was like we're shaking an old woman down for
firebombing a deli.
Stand.
You're right. That's the bullshit that, like the CIA tells themselves kind of shit, that where we're helping the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But I watch very closely all of them, how they tell their stories, and obviously, they're going to tell it where they look the best in the story.
Exactly.
Okay.
They tell it with like a morality that you could potentially get behind.
Yeah.
Good criminals. So I'm always conscious of that, but even being totally conscious of that, it's easy to get sucked into being like, yeah, he snitched. So, for example, hip hop. This is why I like Charleston White, because you would think even with like, I would even get sucked to that where I was watching the King Von versus that girl.
I'm just being like, yo, that's not the street code, bitch.
No, yeah, because I don't watch any movies or like TV. There's so many good documentary things made by Spurgs on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
That are thorough and fair. They're so meticulous with their icebergs and lists.
Sure.
And they're way better at doing like investigating than the people on the news, because they
don't have an agenda necessarily.
The agenda is advertising, and and then they police each other. You could see it. You could see when like Tim Pool. I don't have nothing against any of these people I'm talking shit about, but I remember watching him a long time ago, and he used to work at Vice, and I know how Vice was, what a dumb shit company, and I liked watching his show, and it was like. It was a different feeling when he was, because I would learn. I just want to learn stuff. So how they were doing their ads, they would buy views, clicks, which is fraud. For some reason it's legal. And they were,
because the people that you're defrauding, you technically told them that.
Shane from Vice.
The thing is, you tell people when you're an ad company, you basically tell them like, hey, we're doing 1 million impressions, and it's going to be one of our subsidiaries, Vice being the main one. Yeah. What I don't tell you is you actually get 90% of your ads on like just these other bullshit places that we have technically.
Yeah, fraud.
On.
It's called fraud. By the way, Trump. What Shane did with Vice and those assholes, inflating the price, and Disney pays $1 billion or whatever the fuck they gave him. Trump's supposed fraud. The bank investigated, said we agree, and made a lot of money with him and would like to work with him again. Vice is way worse if we're going to get rule of law about it. They did a real fraud, and it was totally
worse.
Fine. It was totally fine. So like, and Vice was notorious for not giving you a raise. They were one of the early pioneers of paying you in crypto clout.
Yeah.
Yeah, the class rings.
Yeah.
Did you buy any Trump coin?
I should have.
Right now, it fucking is like tripled.
It's like a goddamn Roadrunner cartoon.
Yeah,
they're like Wile E. Coyote.
They have like $5 million in revenue. It's like market cap of $9 billion.
Nerd alert.
Never underestimate Trump's ability to pump a stock.
I mean, here's the thing. I said it.
I didn't.
But look, how many people voted for him in the last election?
A lot more.
But what's the official number? 80 million or something?
I've never voted.
Okay, but whatever. He always says it. He touts it. Like 80 million people voted for him. But all those people go drop $100 of DJT or whatever.
Well, they're not all dropping $100.
What's
bucks.
DJT?
But I'm saying, that's the True
the
Social.
coin.
So do you
Social.
understand the level of it? Like, it's amazing in New York because I always wonder, like, most of the people, like, they'll talk, like, not you guys, but when I talk to, like, whoever, I'll do, like, the Seller podcast, and they'll have on, like some comics that I don't know, but I like everybody on there. And all their understanding of events is pure, like, legacy news.
Yeah, like the
and
official narrative hot off the presses.
And I had no idea that, and I'm like, how the fuck is New York the stupid one now? And I know why. It's because the key to living here, like to master it, is like
Squatting.
now. But there's a bigger one. It's not seeing some shit right in front of your fucking face on purpose. That's how you survive here. So it's like,
You'd think it would make better wives then.
what? Better wives?
You think
No,
the philosophy of there's shit going on in front of my face, but I choose not to see it.
Would make better wives? No, because Sex in the City ruined a generation of fucking females.
You have to
Sex in the
mix
City
it.
did it.
Yeah, there's a mix.
It made them retarded. Sex in the City, the woman that came up with, the show is just 4 aspects of a gay man's personality, but the original column, that chick bitterly regrets her life.
That is funny.
So and then a whole bunch of people just don't see it. Like Taylor, all these girls are. You could see Did you see the Huberman smear thing? And
That's what I want to talk about.
that's a Sex in the City bitch that still thinks.
That was one of the main things that I wanted to fucking get into. So
It's
Huberman
Ozempic
hippies,
behind it, I say.
podcasting health guru and Stanford doc Andrew Huberman is accused of being a womanizer who had an affair with 5 women at once.
Well,
May have given one of them an STD.
Okay, does he sell vitamins? I'm getting them.
I don't know. I don't think
Well,
he does.
He may. HPV. That's the one.
Yeah.
HPV
I bet
is
you-
the one?
They don't mention
You
which
see,
one it
wait, you
was.
see this
doesn't
shit?
count.
You see this shit like Trump, the thing they do with the real estate, and then that guy from Shark Tank is like, then we're all going to prison.
Kevin O'Leary.
If that's suddenly illegal, the thing that real estate. Oh,
Well, that was Martin Shkreli too. Yeah.
Jon Stewart inflated his house. You see that just came out?
Yeah, that's. He inflated.
Well,
Dude, wait,
no.
I mean,
so
it's a
Eddie
pretty
Ift-
standard
Wait. Let me ask you this.
real estate thing.
Okay, Eddie Ift, I was talking to him. I'll talk to Eddie about a lot of shit. He's not like he knows a lot of shit when I talk to him.
You know
But
what?
he
They should
goes,
make a law. If we can't lie about the houses, then girls can't lie about their weight and age. How about that? Let's see if we make this whole rule disappear real quick.
Let's not destroy America just yet. But Eddie goes, we're talking about the Trump thing. Now, I would think on the face of it, when you hear that they keep going to victimless crime, but I don't even think there was a crime because whatever you say the price is, the bank investigates and says, we agree. And also they made out like bandits and they were happy with everything. So Eddie's like, no, it's a crime. And I'm like, is this because someone doesn't want Trump? Like, I don't know. I'm speculating.
It does seem hard on a personal
Because
level
why
to
would you
give a
need,
shit about this
of all
one.
the scams?
But more importantly, you're even forgetting, even if you were to give like, yeah, I guess that's a crime or whatever, like the more important part is like, that's what you got him on after fucking every
They
nook
want
and
Al
cranny.
Capone.
Oh, they have him. That's
Okay.
one of the things.
So
Dude,
I think-
his trial starts in a week.
Well,
2 weeks.
Wait.
the one with the hush money, I think that if that
None
all
of them
comes
are
out-
valid. None of them are valid. But I would expect people to go, yeah.
I mean, he could have paid hush money. That's not totally out of
No,
the
it's
question.
not. That's not. But he should. But they all pay hush money. Good. He paid a whore to shut the fuck up. No, he's got my vote.
Yeah.
I think
Wait.
I think that's a mistake
But-
Huberman made. He was trying to pay them in health advice.
Yeah,
He
you
goes-
should have listened, dumb bitches. Because I'm.
He goes,
Wait.
the girl goes, I want to make you a deal. A lifetime supply of multivitamins by Momentous. And she goes, now
Wha-
she's speaking.
Like, did you think those charges? So Eddie was telling to me like, I don't know if he's telling himself they're legitimate. I'm like, do you just if he's like, I
mean,
want
they're
him
obviously
to,
targeting
wait. I want him to get Trump no matter what. And if they Al Capone him, that's what I want. I would think people would say that. Well, yeah, obviously, but we got to get Trump away. But no, people say, no, yeah, the rule of law. And I'm like, there's no one here. You could.
Yeah. It does feel like that.
Like,
yeah.
did you feel like that, or did you? You know what I mean? Or were you like, oh, they're trying to Al Capone him? Or
Yeah, they're just targeting him. They're
When-
just removing him from.
I'm just asking, like, do people say like, oh, no.
Oh, for sure. There's many people who think that it's totally reasonable and that I mean, they were programmed for how many years that you're like, this guy's a criminal. He's been doing criminal stuff as the president, blah, blah, blah. And then, he gets out of office. And
Yeah.
the moment he's like, I'm running for re-election, they go, hey, so we happen to have like 90 charges against you because you're running again.
Dude, when I saw you last at that Icarus thing,
Yeah.
Dan Adderman, we were sitting in the back. A guy went to Harvard, okay, and we're just saying, he goes, I think Biden's a good man. He just something. I'm like, what? You went to like you don't know anything about him. You just told me. And how's it? Me not knowing really anything about him. Even I remember as a kid what a piece of shit he was, and how he ran for president and steals every goddamn speech he's ever done. You remember this?
The stealing the speech, no, but he
plagiarized.
Crazy crack bill.
We always play the clips; they're so fucking fun. Like when his brain. First of all, this is all a moot point because his brain is done.
Yeah.
And Boris, I like him on Hot 10, and he goes, "Well, Biden looks good on camera sometimes." I'm like, "Can you hear yourself?"
I don't even think Boris likes Biden.
No, but they all. I'm like, "Do you have a loved one that's depending on Trump not winning?" Because I got to tell you, one, it should be easy to beat Trump. It really should. You maybe should have done one or two good things that someone besides The View thinks are good. Joy Behar, yes, she's satisfied.
Fellas, you ever lift a little too hard and just forget to apply your daily deodorant, get hit by a truckload of BO from all directions? We've all been there. Sometimes you wake up, you just forget that you didn't put it on that day, and then you're out in public and you're just like, boys, we got a problem.
We stinking.
Does that 3-in-1 shampoo leave you needing a second shower just a few hours after the first? That might describe some of you. From the founders of Lume, Mando Whole Body Deodorant is helping men conquer the odor in a new way, formulated by mandelic acid. Mando, we're talking, it's got long-lasting 72-hour control that actually stops odor before it starts. Maybe you're staying at someone's house. You put it on the night before, good news. You're good in the morning, too. Best part is you can put Mando everywhere. That's the new innovation here. We're talking pits, packages. Some people put it on the feet, skin folds, the back, the knees, everywhere. To top it off, Mando's cologne quality scents were created with men in mind. Pro tip, try their best-selling scent, Bourbon Leather. It's a game changer, folks. Once you experience fresher underarms, a fresher package, fresher feet, you'll never go back. Now, Mando, I've been trying it. And I've been using it for a little bit right now. And the thing about Mando is I think a lot of people already do this, where you sort of put the pee on the pits, and then sometimes you might be like, oh.
Yeah, a little something, just to, spruce up
I think a lot of people have done that. So they've actually perfected that in a way that it's supposed to be done.
I guess you're not supposed to be doing that with the other ones.
Yeah, you're not. So Mando, and it's great scents. So I personally recommend it. This is created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and treated. So Mando's whole body deodorant is powerful enough for the toughest body odor, but gentle enough to use everywhere, allowing you to put Mando on family jewels without any worry, because it's aluminum-free, baking soda-free, cruelty-free, dye-free, and vegan. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. Comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. And I got a discount code for the fellas already to get you hooked on your favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. New customers get $5 off the starter pack with exclusive code BOYSCAST. That equates to over 40% off your first starter pack. Use the code BOYSCAST at shopmando.com. That is SHOPMANDO.com. It's time to smell better naked, and your partner will thank you. Fellas, I'm going to tell you about a podcast called The Bolator Podcast. Now, they interview top people in the outdoors. Listen to the guests that they've had on the show. Al Schneider from Naked and Afraid. They've actually had like 5 people from Naked and Afraid on their show. Jordan Jonas from the show Alone. Forrest Galante, the guy that was on Joe Rogan's show. He knows everything about the outdoors, animals, wildlife, you name it. Tons of other people from the Discovery Channel, National Geographic, the Red Bull team, and much more. The host of this podcast is Michael Stein, who's the founder and CEO of Bolator, an outdoor products company. He's also an actor, filmmaker, stand-up comedian that's worked with Academy Award winners. I mean, this guy gets around. So go to their website, bolator.com. That is BOLOTOR.com. Or just look it up on podcast platforms, The Bolator Podcast. That is The Bolator Podcast, anywhere podcasts can be found. If you want an outdoor adventure stories, tips and tricks from the outdoors, or discover things you never knew about the outdoors and hear from the most influential people in the outdoor industry, check out the Bolator Podcast.
Bill Maher. Oh my God. I want to give you this to play on the podcast because it's a thing Kyle just fucking didn't.
Now, Bill Maher's a wild one right now.
He's like, So, because I have friends that, well, some of the friends I guess don't like me because I'm on Jimmy Show, but my one friend works there, and I'm like, dude, he doesn't know. All these people don't know shit.
I think he doesn't care. I think
dude, if you can call BB on the phone, he's going to tell you all you need to know about what's going on in Gaza. I don't need to like read like you. I know the real people. Bill Maher fired his agents because he couldn't go to that party.
Yeah, at the Oscars or whatever.
So do you understand?
Do you know any more about that? Because I wasn't able to get the scoop. I just kind of know what
it's
I
just
saw.
that. It's simple as that. And he's an old Hollywood. He's old, dude, and like it's the same as I gotta say, Rogan made a very good point with this, with Macron's man wife supposedly. She like. The way they act, I don't know if she's a man or not. That's not nearly as crazy as the story of their love.
I mean, even if she's not a man,
that's the least bad part.
Regardless of whether she has a dick, he's like 45 or 50 and she's like 70.
She was his teacher.
Hey, listen, if you're
78.
When you're 15 or 16, you probably think it's pretty cool to date, a 30-year-old. If you're a dude that's 40 and your wife's 70, you're probably just like, probably could get some better trim than that.
It's called rape.
Well, she has to be a billionaire.
So like, they did all these weird like when Tom Cruise sued people for calling him gay and it made him look real gay. He's not gay.
That was like the Meek Mill
what
thing.
a gay guy have you talked
Meek
to?
Mill,
Meek Mill's like, I love fucking pussy so much. Oh my God, I love it.
Everybody's gay secretly. At best, they're all
I'm not
secretly gay. No, I mean important people, Danny, important people. Wait,
Well,
so
the
so
titty
wait.
thing, it sounds like it's the accusation is more like it's Black Epstein shit, where he's like, everyone's coming in, you're getting real high, you're gonna have sex, and then afterwards it's like, just so you know, I got this on surround camera.
Let me just get to what I was getting at. Is they did what happened? Same as Kate Middleton, they do all this weird shit that makes it a conspiracy when it might be a simple explanation that you don't need to do this by lying and being weird. You know what I mean? That's what Macron did. Like, that's the trans part. That's the most positive part of your rape story, guys. Right? The fucking Kate Middleton thing it's an abortion she had. It's like old Joan Rivers joke. She had.
I don't know if you saw, but
yeah.
So Stephen Colbert, we actually kind of talked about this last week, that I predicted that
so
they're going to come
feminine.
out and say she has cancer, and I actually posted the clip because I said this last week, and then that's what happened, because it was all the fact. I said
Why would they have to hide that at all?
And I also said the fact that Stephen Colbert was so finally found a conspiracy that he could sink his teeth
He's a
into
girl.
without getting in trouble.
It's a girl.
100%, I agree.
Beyonce didn't have that kid. She had
Exactly.
a double. So girl.
He finally found a girl conspiracy he can get behind.
Yeah. So Macron potentially, but especially Middleton. Those are girl conspiracies.
100%.
And Stephen Colbert.
And they're sort of stamped by, like, they're approved by the, the kind
Zero,
of
He didn't know.
zero
He did
stakes
not know.
conspiracy.
the
What
right
he
people.
fucked with.
So, anyways, basically, he's being sued for misinformation right now, which is like
The greatest?
But that also, how much must he hate that? He probably looks in the mirror and you became what you hate. The fact Stephen Colbert
he's
having,
hollow. He's hollow. Do you remember?
I know, but that's on paper. The idea of
No,
Stephen
he's just
Colbert
looking in the mirror being like,
Yo.
they're the ones doing misinformation, Stephen.
He takes his glasses off and he's a different guy.
Because it's them who's doing misinformation.
Dude, do you remember when a girl named Sui Park started hashtag cancel Colbert back when he was on the show that was good, and we all fucking
No, I don't remember that.
So Korean girl, he made a joke on the Colbert Report that was like an ironic Shane Gillis thing. You know,
Okay, yeah,
the
yeah.
Ching Chong Ding Dong Institute of Asian not being racist. That was-
That's what he said.
but when Shane got fired for it, and
Yeah.
this girl Sui Park,
And I'm sure Colbert fucking
she made a hashtag called
disavowed.
hashtag cancel Colbert. Everyone, because everybody liked that show at the time, everybody turned on her. We all turned on her simply because she wasn't that hot of an Asian. But I would
That'll
like
do
to
it to
say,
you.
Sui, if you're out there, I apologize because you were the one who was right. We should have canceled him. We didn't listen to you. Because if you ever want to take a ride on the USS White Privilege, which is what I call my aircraft carrier, that's
Sure.
in my pants. The aircraft carrier in my pants called the USS White Privilege. Yeah. I owe you 2 or 3 free rides. And
It's also a Boeing. Couple of wings fell off. It's not in best condition.
I talked to my girlfriend Jenna, that you know, okay, about
Yeah.
this. She does not agree with it all, and that doesn't matter because what's right is right. I told her, Sui Park, Sui Park's not that hot, but she's like
More than
the
welcome.
spirit of Malala. You know how Malala's not hot, but like because she's like smarter to turn on.
Didn't she get shot in the face or something? Or acid thrown
Yeah,
at her?
like so you wouldn't think she'd be hot, but because
Yeah.
of her bravery.
So this girl
you know how
said-
you're like hard for her because of her bravery.
She thought Colbert was racist. Colbert became the face of the Democratic Party comedy. You actually might find this funny, but when me and Danny, I feel like this is up your alley. But in Singapore, when people go there, they go through your jokes to make sure they're good, and it's the Department of Humor. So there's a guy there that's the head of the Department of Humor.
I want to go through that process so bad.
That's great, right?
That's amazing. That's a memory of a lifetime, dude.
You sit down, you're on a.
That's not a Monty Python.
He has like a squirt flower. He's got the whole
The
deal.
silly walk place.
Oh yeah.
Is your walk silly enough?
Yeah,
Dude, the Department of Humor. So what notes did you get?
Basically all of the notes are like no gay shit. It's like he's a bro, dude. He's like none of that. You want to fucking talk about sucking dick with your boys? You bring that shit on stage.
Can you make fun of being gay?
He's basically the whole
China's
Department
more
of
liberal.
Humor. Essentially, the notes they give you is pause.
Pause.
Pause?
What gay people say when you're being gay. Like, do you not know this?
No, I know zesty.
you're tapped into
I know
black
what zesty
culture.
means.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you're a little,
I don't know about
if your
pause.
act's being a little zesty, they're like,
I don't think we should mix black culture with like black drag queen culture, which people seem to do a lot. Like cancel culture.
Sure.
Think that's from Black Twitter. No, that's a bunch of drag queens made that stupid shit. Right? Like most black guys, we're not going, you're canceled. I work, W-E-R-K, work. What do I do for a living? Work. That ain't like, black guys don't do that. That's all fucking online autistic queer bullshit. Do
you think they're doing that at Diddy's house? So what's your prognosis on the Diddy thing? You think that it is an Epstein thing? Are they taking videos?
I know what it is. It's this information, again.
Okay, so what's the final conclusion on Diddy before we move on?
Final conclusion as to what?
What
you want the story? So Clive Davis is the top of the whole thing. He was married to Whitney Houston. He came out as gay, like, over the pandemic.
Is that true? He came out because I saw something yesterday. They go, Clive Davis is gay. He is.
This is 2 years ago. Yeah,
he came out as gay at like 85.
Yeah. Well, I got a little. Here's a little. Secret.
Yeah.
He was gay the whole time. So there's a guy named Andre Harrell, who's another producer. Andre Harrell is the one who broke in Diddy. Apparently,
broke him in how?
Every possible way.
Like a glove.
When you say broke him in,
like a fucking glove. Because Jaguar writes great. She's so mad. She's like, she goes, whatever he did to you, that's not cool. You did that to other people. So they record it. And then Diddy, because he was an enterprising young man, he ended up going, so Andre Hill is under Clive Davis. And it's like a pyramid structure of gay.
Yeah, like I want to be
like NXIVM. The music industry is like NXIVM. A pyramid structure of dick sucking, of deep throating, and bulimia. So fucking Andre Harrell.
Well, I sucked 70 dicks. I didn't get shit.
Listen to how ancient Greek, like conniving, powerful. Like he goes right up to Clive Davis and fucks him and finds so much favor with Clive Davis that Clive Davis gave him the money to start Bad Boy. So P. Diddy bypassed Andre Harrell.
So basically, you're one of the guys getting fucked, and if you're doing it good, they're just like, hey, you can start a little pyramid of your own.
You know the
that sounds like it's like a multi-level gay dick sucking rap game scene.
All of our businesses. That's why multi-level marketing will never go away, even though it's what's called a pyramid scheme. On the back of the dollar, you'll notice our favorite national scheme. In case you're wondering what that represented, it represents a mystical structure that makes money flow uphill somehow. So that's what we're all about is pyramid. I mean, like everything is set up like that. Even the things that aren't set up like that,
they're like,
are secretly set up like that.
I don't like this now, but once I have 5 guys under me.
Okay, if you'll just you just watch what people will knuckle under to, like pretending Hannah Gadsby's funny. One time I did this other podcast and everybody was saying Hannah Gadsby was funny.
Yeah, people will knuckle under whatever.
Okay, so you're that much of a and I was like, oh, do you think that you think she's funny? And I would go, well, what jokes of hers do you like? I can think of one thing that I did chuckle at that she said, I have a favorite Gadsby. What is your guy's favorite one? Nobody knows because they're fucking cows.
Yeah.
And you don't have to like march. Dude, you don't got to go hurt nobody or march. You don't have to go to a dumb march. Just don't be a fucking cow. Just like, if you think it's not funny, fucking say it. Don't do that bourgeois. Because what's happening now is, Ketanji Brown, the Supreme Court Justice that ruled against free speech because she's a dumb bitch. I didn't know this. In her hearings, Rogan told me this. At the Mother Show, we getting high and it was like chilling. They said to her in the interview, what is a woman? And she goes, I don't know, I'm not a biologist. I remember vaguely seeing that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Well, she's on the Supreme Court now. Now, in the world, this is how crazy it's got now. Because let's say 2012, when Colbert was good, everything was all about like that Kerry Washington scandal show, like spin, play the game. You gotta play the game. So in her world, that's a smart, sharp answer.
It's like a dog whistle almost to all the people.
It's what they used to ask about. What are you gonna do about abortion? Okay. And they would be cagey. She's doing that about what is a woman. So in their world, they're so disconnected from you because it's that far apart now. That is like, wow, she's a smart, and so she is smart. Like it's almost like they're acting like it's the wisdom of Solomon. But this is what's hilarious, bitch. You have a pussy.
You're like a really good sophist.
Yeah, like everything's sophistry now. So that's why you get your Voshes and your Destinies and it makes me sick actually to watch it. Like people like intellectualizing some mass murder going on somewhere, which 20 years ago I would have been fine with because I was full. Hey, let's go to Iraq. That makes sense. People said like that doesn't make sense, but I was like, no.
Less information then, though. Like you weren't.
No, all the information was out then. I was like, yeah, we got to blow up something.
Very American of you.
No, now's not the time to bring up a little thing like that.
Gotta blow up something.
When I think about it, I'm like, what is, so it's like, I'm not like smart, like 20 years later, it dawns on me, I might have been had. It don't dawn on nobody else. Like Russia, like you know how many people have told me that Putin wants to rebuild the Soviet Empire? So domino theory from Vietnam. They don't even have to make new things up. The Vietnam thing.
There is a lot of recycled things, yeah.
That's the thing that turns out the only thing works. That's the only thing that's ever been recycled. None of the actual literal recycling has been recycled. The only thing that's recycled is fucking domino theory.
Propaganda.
You know who Putin's biggest opposition is in Russia? The Communist Party. It's not Alexei Navalny. Who, by the way, who gives a fucking shit if Bono is singing about, when I say Alexei, you say Navalny. Did you see that?
No, he didn't. Bono would be on some shit like that.
You know why I won't get that chip in my head? Because I know the first thing to go.
U2 is going to be in the chip the way it was in your iPhone.
A fucking U2 with a picture. The cover is a guy blowing another guy's fucking belly. I'm gonna be having Obama gay thoughts. And I'm like, why?
your fucking chip comes with a U2 album.
Whether you want it or not.
That's just smart marketing.
No, well, why is it? Oh, but I like. How are you not a conspiracy theorist just from U2 album on your phone? That's still on my phone. That I've never been able.
Dude, my U2. I was on the subway like 8 months ago, and it came on. I was just like, I couldn't know what was happening.
It's like an AIDS
I was just
attack.
Like, what the fuck?
Bono invented
and
phone
then I was
AIDS.
like, this has been on my. This is 4 phones like since the episode.
It's in your iTunes.
They transferred my phone. It's the only thing
to
on
your
my
unborn
iTunes.
phone. They transfer. You're gonna need a bone marrow transplant.
I couldn't believe it.
The same process.
I've been hacked.
Yeah, the process. You hear some shit like, "What the fuck is this?" And you look down, it's a guy blowing a guy's belly on your phone. You're like, I didn't ask for this.
Yeah, and that chip that's going to be in your head.
Well, the reason they did that was Apple. If you notice,
now you're going to be banging a girl, and they're just going to sort of like morph it into a guy and be like,
dude,
also would work though, right?
I want to make a screenplay. It's called Self Checkout, and it was about like where you can get something in your head where it's like, but it opens up like you're in a goon cave. The guy's just like, whatever, anime and whatever. And then there's a ring at his doorbell, you know? And he's like, fuck. He goes over. And then what is he's in his own head from his implant. And his body works at the supermarket. So,
yeah.
So people have customers. And so, you can just chill out and have your body work, right? So, and you don't even give a shit what's happening with your body. And then you can, like, Wi-Fi, like if you meet a chick or something, you know? And, but then you have to pay extra, like her tits will be censored. You know, and it's all about. And then he's like, got some crazy uncle that wouldn't get the chip. Who's like, you know what they do? And
he has to go work his normal job.
Dude, it's scary if you like. I was talking to somebody about Haiti, and they go, "Oh, your conspiracies." I'm like, I haven't even gotten to my conspiracies. Those are crazy. Do you know the only successful slave revolt in all of recorded history is Haiti?
Yeah, and then they cut down all their trees or whatever.
Well,
right?
Okay, fuck that. So that's the only place where slaves were, and they won. So, you know, like...
What happened after they won?
Wait, hold on. In L.A., people, they're talking about reparations. You know, they're going to give $3 million to everybody black, and people will bring it up. You're going to give rep... And don't worry, they're not going to do that, guys. But it makes me laugh just the argument about that of slave reparations, because that would be like an argument I would like think about, like I'm Destiny, like some dipshit, and you argue on the merits, and like they gave $300 billion of your money to fucking ruin Ukraine. They give it to Nazis to lose a fucking war. 300 billion. So you're arguing about this piddly, dude. You could not only pay reparations to the wrong black people that weren't even slaves, you know, you could pay white people reparations for feeling sad about it, and you'd still have $200 billion left. So everybody's a retard that just spins with these like, oh, butter dick on the Bud Light can, you know, like everything is a goddamn distraction. So Haiti, the only reparations that will ever have been paid for slavery and will be paid was Haiti paid France reparations for not being slaves until 1985, and Chase Manhattan handled that shit.
They paid them back?
They had to pay back France
for losing their slaves.
Like reverse
into 1985.
Jeez.
Okay? You know, because I was like, well, what do we even want? First of all, I barely even think about Haiti, but like, dude, never mind Gaza or the Uyghurs or whatever, or any like lefty dipshits are like, decolonize your mind. You know, we have hey, Black Lives Matter. You know, we have a colony still that is, people are like, oh, it's a failed state, but no, it's a successful colony. They have a lot of valuable shit, it turns out. They got all those rare earth minerals for your computer, and they got gold. And my favorite, they got cheap labor. So when you hear about the China makes you, well, guess who else does? Fucking Haiti. And the last time when Hillary Clinton was in and they invaded, the people were marching to get like 37 cents high, something like that. We invaded to make sure Levi's don't have to pay that. So the reason it's like that, and there's cannibalism, and if you think that looks shitty, wait till it shows up here, because it's coming.
So your sort of point that you're making is a lot of people, they'll go, oh, there's cannibals there, and they're sort of like, hey, don't say that, but they're not
There's
actually
cannibals here. You watch it on Netflix.
I mean, there's literally
fucking girls flick their bean to cannibal stories.
I mean, there was literally in LA last weekend, there was a car crash and a guy, or a train derailment or something, and a guy lost a leg, like a leg like came off this guy's body, and then there's a video of this guy, like some homeless dude picks up the leg and starts eating it.
Yeah, well, guess what? I don't know what, that's the thing. New York is where you like don't notice a guy fist. I did this joke in my
Yeah, I remember that.
Where I'm going to make eye contact.
If you saw a guy eating a leg, you'd keep walking. I'll tell you that much.
This is a big prison.
Not my
That
business.
city, like LA was like a driving place. When New York, the best part of New York used to be when it wasn't just either people that make good money, even if they don't seem rich, they are rich just to live in this fucking overpriced place, and then illegal immigrants are the only people left. So it used to be like you'd mix with everyone, you know, from every class level. New York was about that. It's a walking town. It was a coke town.
Still like that.
That's the number one DEI diversity training is doing blow in New York for 20 years. You hang out with every person. I learned about the world.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. But now that the shit's so far apart, where like in the world of bourgeois rich people, acting like you don't know what a woman is the smart play.
That stuff sticks up around up above 50th Street.
So there's no one to tell anyone. There's no one to check. Like there's no like mid-range person to give reliable information from the bottom to the top at all. So it's not just the top lying from the pyramid down. The scumbag brown noser cows that want to get to the part, they're lying their way up. Just like, hey, Afghanistan's going well. Everybody's saying it's going well. We'll put more money into it. And then later you read the articles. Yeah, it wasn't going well. Okay, and so I'm not smart where it's like I saw through that. I remember at some point, like 2016, I was like, are we still in Iraq? Like I left the oven on feeling. That's when I first started like unraveling. And remember 9/11? Were you here or were you in?
I remember it. I wasn't here. No.
You know, you hear of it? It's not as bad as January 6th, but it was a big deal.
I remember with 9/11. I remember one funny thing that was always funny to me, even when I was young, is after 9/11 when they're always like, you know, Osama bin Laden, we got to get him, and then like then they came back and they're like, we got him, and you're like, Osama bin Laden, and they're like, no, this other guy, Saddam, but like almost as good.
Oh, I thought you. Well,
do you remember that the front page was like, we got him?
But before that, even after it just happened, I remember on the news, and I was
you're like, no, but a brown guy nonetheless, though, and someone had to pay.
That's what we all, as a city, all races in the city came together to be like, we're gonna blow up some fucking Arabs. The whole city, the blackout. There were no riots. It was a big party. We're all united, and I remember on the news they would go, well, he's in Afghanistan, but we're going to bomb him back to the Stone Age. And it was like one of those repeating Mockingbird things, but when I think about it, and they go, they're already in the Stone Age. Anyway, cut to, we lost that war. They go, oh, you want your gun? You can't beat American fucking army. Really? People with cavemen beat us quite easily, actually, where we left all our shit. So now the next one, because it's always going to be that, is this is like despicable to me. Like when I hear like people rationalize the Ukraine shit, where it's like, well, we want to weaken Russia. I don't know why. I still am not clear on that. We want to weaken Russia.
Sure.
And this is a great way through Ukraine.
Yeah, best money we can spend.
We talked about that. I hate that guy, that CIA guy he looks like he's from old school, the Dominican kid from old school with the puffy hair. And
CIA guy?
Yeah, he's on Schultz's podcast.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I watched him.
Oh, that guy.
I watched him psychopathically lay out why this is a good thing. And by the way, I knew it was going to be a shit show the whole time. Though, again, not top secret. Any idiot that knows anything knew that, except people that don't know anything.
I don't think there's very many people that I know that I consider smart that were hard on the other side of that one.
What do you mean the other side? How?
Just being exactly
Who
what
even
you're saying.
cares about Ukraine?
No, I'm saying there's not many people that I know that I've, watched for 10, 15 years, and I'm like, that's a smart guy that was like, nah, this is the move. You don't understand. This is going to be the best thing that happened to America. Money well spent. Like,
yeah, and Lindsey Graham, Miss Lindsey Graham.
Only propagandists.
They'll die to the they want to fight to the last man. This is the best money we ever spent.
That's what he's saying, yeah.
And are you really? You should be proud. Oh, I'm so proud of it. So we want to fight someone, and so we get a crash dummy like a new fish in the prison. What a great country this is! I'm so proud of us. Is everyone fucking crazy? So you're gonna have some other people that can't win. They always couldn't win. They were never winning. Everything that they said, remember, same as Afghanistan. No, they're gonna do it. The offensive. And so on the thing that's crazy on Jimmy's show. It actually has made me mad the amount of, because when I first got on there, I'd be like, all right, come on, okay, and then every time it would be right. And what I would watch is it's like an embargo on reviews of movies and games. Like you could see it early, but don't talk about it until this date.
Sure,
that's how. It's not that these news people can't. Jimmy's not. We're not on location. Point. You can find the news with a surprisingly little effort.
It is an embargo on talking about it.
But why aren't all of them doing it? Well, I stopped watching Tim Pool because they're all algorithm. Okay, I know my audience is now more conservative. Like, it's just normal business thing. You got to pick your audience so that you don't have...
To be honest, that's one of the points Destiny does make, because he always says, like, people have a constellation of beliefs, which is...
What does that mean?
I think...
basically, so is he
you don't say, hey, I fucking hate Trump. You say, I hate Trump. I think global warming is the biggest problem. Like most people, it's kind of like you pick a fighter, and the fighter comes with like 10 different things you think.
Yeah, that's the Spurg problem.
Right. So most of the people that I listen to on anything don't subscribe to just like all along one.
But they do at the end of the day, because what they do Destiny.
Do you?
No, I'm non-binary on any of the shit.
That's what I mean. There are people
Destiny
that
does.
Don't.
Destiny, because everybody needs their dumb label of what they are, right? Everybody has to have their,
You're saying from a business model perspective.
That's all there is.
Well, I think you're right that's the big problem, is so much of this stuff, once there's a business around it, you kind of stick to your...
I don't think he's bisexual. I think he's trying to be so centrist and down the middle that he says he's bisexual. I don't believe he is.
You think it's some of it's contrarian thinking?
I think.
Well, I'm not even talking about him specifically. I'm just saying the point is so many people are like that.
Vosh, the same deal. Vosh, that guy Vosh, he's another piece of shit like those other two. The kid with the dick sucking lips in Canada, Lance.
Which guy's Lance?
His name's Lance from the Surfs. You ever see that? There's all these bottom feed. Okay, so there's good for you, man. He's from Canada. He's from your country.
Yeah, I'm surprised we don't know.
I know. I don't like
that. Just based on that specifically.
You might be more tapped in than me now.
No, it's all like BreadTube losers. Now, half of BreadTube is, by the way...
This is communist YouTube, right?
Yes, that's Vosh.
Okay.
So this is why you got to watch even this stupid shit. It really is that magic shit of as above, so below. That where like
I saw that Hassan Piker was selling $40 capitalism shirts, which is funny.
Hassan knows more shit than Cenk Uygur and Anna. Hassan, that dumb fuck.
You saying the Young Turks are the least knowledgeable?
On purpose. On fucking purpose. Kyle Rittenhouse, here's a good test if someone's full of shit. Kyle Rittenhouse. Shane Gillis, because he's a man, and he was on when that first happened. Now, the only reason I knew that Kyle Rittenhouse, it was self-defense and et cetera, was watching the freely available footage from every angle for hours and hours. I've never people thought he shot black people. He shot a fucking pedophile.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh no, JoJo. The guy who played the Hulk is like, they killed JoJo.
Sure.
Okay, he's better than cops. That kid. He tried to de-escalate. They changed. But anyway, if you watch it, you can see exactly what happened. Okay, so I watched these. Karen's Jewish. She would never destroy property, but she's not a retard like the one before her, the Sicilian one. And that chick would like get mad and break your shit. So she, of course, identifies with the people burning down shit.
Sure.
With like him righteously shooting some murderous fucks that burn down property. It hits her deep in her soul. So she's like, she goes, yeah, now he's a murderer. He's gonna. I'm like, look, I just watched. You could just watch the footage. Mm-hmm. Other people will act like I watched the trial. No, you didn't. But she goes, I don't need to see the footage. I used to do a joke about it. Like, I'm like, you don't, what am I, Galileo, bitch? Well, look in the telescope. You can see. And the whole thing was they don't like that kid's round, fat fucking face.
Sure,
right?
of course.
You want to hit it with a skateboard. We all a little bit do. And
real
also,
chubby now.
you, instead of thinking about just an individual person and what's right and wrong and principles, you think about your team, because we're at war now. The Trumpies and the people that aren't Trump and the cops and the Black Lives Matters. Right? And Black Lives Matters, what a crock of shit. Everyone knows that all the money went to one fat bitch in Hamas, right? That's has word spread to the
pretty much, yeah.
Black people know. Shaun White, that guy.
Sean King.
Or Sean King. So,
Sean White.
Sean White.
there was flying tomato.
I'm Muslim now, bro.
Oh, Sean King converted to Islam, and they kicked him out. No takes his backs. He's out of that one. You're in for life, Shawnee.
He got booted pretty
Sean
quickly.
King did we talked about that.
They just now figured out he's bad.
But the new one is Sean King. Since he's been Muslim, he did an event that was $1,000 a tick. And then,
no, we covered that.
Yeah, and then he got, and then
There's a
canceled.
girl that makes fun of Michael Rappaport on TikTok, and Jimmy played it, and I'm like, because Jimmy is funny, like how much shit, because he's older than me. It's like I'm shocked at what I didn't know.
I'm not too surprised. Whenever someone says they're like too surprised all the time,
But
you
this girl-
kind of can say that. Another way to say that is you're bad at evaluating.
Yeah, this girl on TikTok, she's like, everybody, this guy, she didn't even like get to the part that he's not even black, but she was just talking about how he stole all the money. All the black people involved in that shit, the mothers of like that Tamir Rice kid that he raised money for and then didn't give them any money, like P. Diddy, word was out immediately. So that's why, by the way, I say October 7th was Hamas actually destroyed woke. I don't know what's going to happen in Israel.
Me too. I agree.
They killed woke because.
Do you know what I think?
Is it what I think?
Israel, well, similar, but I'm probably not going to say what you're going to say. But I was thinking about Israel and Palestine destroyed all the like PC stuff the same way that the Karen meme destroyed feminism.
Trans destroyed feminism, and that's why I support trans women, women plus. You
The Karen meme's what did it, because basically,
know who invented that?
What?
You know
Karen
who came up with Karen?
Dane
Cook.
Dane Cook?
It's a
Really?
Dane Cook bit.
Interesting.
No way.
Yeah.
I watched the movie.
You know where I got
It
that
was
from?
the
A
worst.
YouTube where one of these fucking somebody got mad like, stop saying autism. Look, I'm not. Autism's normal now. That's that's what your kids are. So don't feel bad. That's not an aberration. That is normal now, and that's why you got this like. And I don't even know if it's just autism, but that thing of destiny of like a guy from Nebraska. Now, like, so in a debate, I hate debates. I would rather if
I
you
don't like the debate stuff either.
it's
really.
useless.
Because everyone no normal person just like, I'll never change my opinion on one thing ever. You're just doing it for the audience. I guess it is sort of fun
If
to
you-
watch.
if I'm
but, like, I
wrong-
don't like doing that stuff.
it's not.
Yeah, exactly what you
if
just
I'm
said. You're like,
wrong,
if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's
and
fine.
you tell me, then I won.
Yeah, that's fine.
I
Yeah.
want like.
Yeah.
I would like to know just what happened.
Yeah. I'm fine being wrong on something.
So that's the thing. That's the like.
That's what I don't love
The
about the
evil
debate
source
stuff, yeah.
right there is These are people that look at algorithms and they look.
No,
at
they debate like I debate with a girl in a bar. I've been in that situation where I'm like, I know I'm wrong about this point, but I'm still going. You know what I mean? That's like, that's what it is.
That's a great way to put it, dude.
Right?
Also, they debate about things where you're like, there's not necessarily a cut and dry answer. This isn't like a mathematical equation where there's an answer.
Here's why I love.
Fellas, football season may be over, but the action on the floor is heating up. Whether it's tournament season or the fight for playoff home court, there's no shortage of high-stakes basketball moments this time of year. Get in on the excitement with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app, where you can turn your hoops knowledge into serious cash. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000 with the NBA, NHL, or college basketball entries today on Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Prize Picks even offers injury insurance so that your entries stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. For basketball games, if you got a player who exits the game in the first half, does not return in the second half, that player projection won't count against you and the rest of your entry stays alive. They got quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and enormous selection of players and stat types are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app.
And look, it's super simple to play this game. I got 4 picks for Denver versus Phoenix in the NBA. I got Nikola Jokic, more than 22.5 rebounds and assists. Michael Porter Jr., less than 20.5 points and assists. KD, Kevin Durant, more than 25.5 points. And Nikola Jokic, more than 9 assists.
So fellas, download the app today. Use the code BOYSCAST for a first deposit match up to $100. We're talking 100 beans. Download the app today. Use the code BOYSCAST. First deposit match up to $100 with Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Fellas, we all got to exercise, but that's why I'm going to tell you about X-Bar. We all know that we need to exercise, but going to the gym can take hours a day. Home gyms are expensive. You might live in a place that it's inconvenient to get to one.
Might be
correct?
traveling.
You might be traveling, yes.
Yeah.
What if you can get better results than in the gym in just 10 minutes a day? You got 10 minutes. Everyone's got 10. You're too good to have 10 minutes?
No.
So,
no.
you know,
Everybody's got 10
That's a big part that people say, oh, I don't really have time for that. You got 10 minutes,
you
pal.
got the time.
That's why X-Bar, our new sponsor, is an exercise bar that uses heavy resistance bands instead of weights. They guarantee you better results in 10 minutes, or they will buy you a full gym membership.
Oh.
That's not an offer you see a lot.
No, you don't.
What's their secret, you might be asking? The X-Bar uses variable resistance, so you only need 1 set per exercise versus 3 to 4 sets. Your X-Bar comes with 5 to 480 pounds of muscle building resistance. It's a full gym that you can take anywhere. Safer for your joints, which that's a good point. Lifetime warranty, and also it doesn't have to be an either or. Sometimes you might be going to the gym a bit. Sometimes you don't have time for that. You're using the X-Bar.
Yep.
This is a convenient thing to have at your house, you know? 10 minutes, that's all we're talking. Our listeners can save 15% plus X-Bar's $199 12-week fitness program for free with the coupon BOYSCAST. You just go to xbar.com/pages/BOYSCAST, or you can just click the link below and you save 15% off with the code BOYSCAST, plus receive X-Bar's $199 12-week fitness program for free.
Okay, Jordan Peterson, who I'm nothing, again, I'm nothing against these people. I'm just like, holy shit. Jordan Peterson literally said it would be great if like BB was the president of
The United States?
Yeah. He has dinner with him. You know, he works for, he got 60 million from the Daily Call. And I'm glad he got 60 million after all that bullshit that he was right about. Okay? Now that's a smart guy. And that guy, like the things that I know about, and I said this on Rogan Show, I want to make it clear. I would never take the word of an Arab or a dirty Muslim. I'm a good person. Okay? So I've never ever tried to look into that shit ever for 20 years. The only reason that I have an idea about it now, and I'm not everybody, so the Destiny method is like you argue about 1948, the founding of Israel. Yo, that's what nerds fucking do. Like
oh shit, that's nerd stuff.
Okay, but right now, real crime is happening, and the reason I know it's happening is not because I would listen to a Muslim liar. It's because Jews told me. So the Jew Norman Finkelstein, he's the first one to put it in a way I understood. It's a concentration camp. I thought they built a wall like Trump said. Hillary has said that the lie. They built the wall and threw him the keys and said, "You do it." And that's not what happened. They fucking concentrated them, 2 million people, denser than Tokyo, into a very small space, blockaded it. They just happen to have a lot of natural gas reserves, by the way, which they stole. Blockaded them in. Okay. Measure how many calories are going in food every day to make sure you're not too fighty. So they calculate, okay, this many people, this is how many calories they need to survive, and that's all they're getting. For 20 years, they've been doing that with, I would say, German precision. The reason I understood it when he said it was because he wasn't being a pundit or a political operator. He's a guy that knows, went there, his parents died in the Holocaust. He went there, and because he's a guy who's the Jewiest Jew who ever Jewed on every level.
I've seen Jew here.
Yeah.
You have, but what I'm saying is...
He's pretty Jewy, though.
Listen,
Jewy.
For somebody like, I know what it's like to be Jehovah's Witness and go, what the fuck are you doing? And I know what it's like to work somewhere and go, what the fuck is this shit? Hannah Gadsby's not funny. This is more serious. That's somebody who wants to... Aaron Mate, Max Blumenthal from the Gray Zone.
So what do you think the solution
Wait.
of Israel-Palestine is?
There a final one,
Don't
potentially?
distract from the goddamn point. That's what everybody does. They go, well, what's the solution then? This
I'm wondering because you actually
just hear me out. Hear me
I'm
out.
not arguing with you.
This is the thing that disturbs the fuck out of me. So that concentration camp shit, when I would tell people that no, they didn't go, that's terrible. It's not a concentration camp. They went, yeah, what are they supposed to do? Well, that's a very strange thing to say. Then we showed this on Rogan's. They fucking, I watched, don't listen to American news. Listen to Israeli news. See, the Israelis have not been woke for 10 years. They're mentally in 1944, not even 48. And no one pointed that out. So 48 is when you establish Israel. 44 is right after the Holocaust. They are mentally in 1944 all the time. Whereas you have lived in this woke, where you could be a liberal Zionist famous person, right? So Bill Maher made a movie about how the Bible is so stupid and it's going to kill us all. Grow the fuck up, right? The Bible's only, I don't know, 78% of the justification of Israel even existing. You don't believe in that. The rednecks that are the base of support for this pyramid, the dumb rednecks that believe Zionist Christianity, okay? You've been telling them they're fucking Muslim terrorists, basically, for the last 10 years because they voted for Trump, and you tried to make their kids gay. So now you're surprised that there might be a little So the infrastructure's been crumbling this whole time on this bullshit. This is the thing that, like, I couldn't believe. We're doing a story about the Israeli ambassador to England, and I can see Jimmy's noticing computer. It says Dresden. So, because I'm naive, I go, oh, she's going to say, how dare you compare this to the famous war crime of deliberately targeting civilians with fire, which is on purpose. It's a crime, you know, it's the Nazis or whatever, but those were, the express goal was to kill civilians. Kurt Vonnegut wrote about it in Slaughterhouse-Five. We had to read in school because he was at Dresden, and it was real bad. So I thought she was going to go, how dare you compare our self-defense to some fucking war crime? No. This is what I think, like a poor person. She goes, yeah, Dresden. We got it. There's a war. Now, Liz, that's not an Arab. They're openly telling you. It's like an embarrassing immigrant parent that doesn't know not to make gay slurs. Yeah. Okay? So I don't watch any of the videos because I can't take them. Some of the shit's too fucked up and you don't know if it's true. Don't listen. Hey, don't take my word for it. Go to your local fucking Israeli official. And Kid Rock on Rogan, because Rogan was like, well, why kids got... They've killed 20,000. There's only 30,000 Hamas, and there's 2 million people. They said, okay, no food can go in or water or gas. So that's a siege, which is illegal. I don't know if...
Hasn't food been going in the whole... Like, all that stuff been going in, though?
We airdropped some food recently because the settler people were... The guy that's with Bibi, the one psychopath... The UNRWA UN thing, they blocked it because they're like, there's terrorists hiding in the whatever the fuck. This actually makes me mad thinking about it. So, because this is a real story. And again, another thing, nobody goes, they didn't do that. This is why I get really disturbed. So they're starving on the other side. Why didn't we think of that in Iraq and Afghanistan? To starve them until the Taliban surrenders. We might have won. They're blocking the food.
People have thought of that in the military, for sure.
Yeah, they're blocking the food. Okay, so it's like literally across the street is all these like starving Arab kids whose crime is being born, you know, not one of the good people. All the local residents on the other side set up cotton candy and popcorn and food kids like so that those kids can look at it. That's some dark shit. That's dark. And when I would tell people about it, that even know, you know, American, like people that I like that I don't think are in any way bad people, they're like, yeah, well, dude, what do you mean, yeah? At least the Nazis built a fucking wall so you couldn't see the other people eating food.
Sure.
I mean, I believe
You actually let in front of them that kind of evil fucking hatred to feel like that you want starving kids to watch your kids eat shit because you hate them that much. And they're not even in Hamas. They're just other people, but you just like it. And it's also, they're like, well, they're fighting on their land. Well, no, Gaza supposedly was their part that you just control. Oh, and then my favorite, when I think of that shit, and then again, Dave Smith, guy who knows his shit, Bibi openly, you know, like, oh, these colleges support Hamas. That's Bill Maher. What are these college kids? No, they don't. Did they tweet? That's not support. Bibi Netanyahu financially supported them with millions of dollars over the last 20 years openly. And he said, if we want to present a two-state solution, we've got to support Hamas. Now, I gave up on Hamas in 2006. But Bibi was paying them, and again, people won't. Noam just kind of like doesn't want it. And Noam's a very fair, thoughtful
I agree.
guy.
Yeah, he is fair, the guy.
So first of all, that you paid for the evil terrorists. Fuck you out of the gate, motherfucker.
Well, they weren't paying them; they were just allowing the money to get through. They weren't like it wasn't like actually Israelis.
We have to support Hamas. It was actually our
wasn't their
tax money that we send to them that they spend on that. That's what it was. No, he just how we did in Rambo 3 with the fucking Al Qaeda. I don't want to like single out Israel because if you want to stack up the evil numbers, like we're way worse. We're so much worse. We all have beat Hitler, by the way. Congratulations to everyone. I want to congratulate everyone on that one. We've put medals on. John Stewart put a medal on a Nazi at Disney World with Mickey Walt Disney's dream came true.
When was this?
You remember that one?
No.
Well,
That was a pretty
I
big
bring
one.
it up.
John
Well,
Stewart
it
put a
wasn't,
medal on
but
a
I
Nazi.
brought it up.
He thought he was a firefighter.
Oh,
The guy covered his black son of Himmler's SS with a thing, and I was just like cracking up. And then the Canada thing is the greatest because when Yaroslav Hunka from the Waffen SS, who did the Bullet Holocaust, which is what inspired them to use gas because it was so horrible how those Ukrainian Nazis did it. The Nazis were like, this is disgusting. We've got to get a humane gas because these animals, what they did. That guy's been living in Canada safely.
dude, there's tons of Nazis in Canada. I mean, there's tons of Nazis.
My ex-girlfriend Karen in Elkins Park, there's a statue to a fucking Waffen SS that they
There's one in Mississauga as well. That
We
they're
have
trying to get
statues
removed.
to Nazis all over the place.
Yeah.
Another thing you bring
There's
it
a
up.
Trump statue.
So anybody who's not who knows shit but doesn't, but they're on the side of it. They go, well, it's complicated. It is. I remember it wasn't complicated like 5 minutes ago when some video gamer didn't want to see a fat queer bitch instead of, you know what I mean? Like, he's a Nazi.
Yeah.
But a literal from World War II racist Nazi, it's complicated. Oh, okay, I guess it is. So just stack all that up. And I've been hearing about how evil Putin is, but his problem is not that AIPAC, a foreign thing, funds the most of our shit. It was that they're giving Republicans more money now, like how Sam Bankman. That's what they're mad about. So, you know, Michael Rappaport was like, I might vote for Pig Dick Trump. So goes the nation. So what happened is, because Bibi is a psychopath and he's like, oh, you know the thing of, I was trying to explain this to Rob Schneider because he has jokes where people go, what do you mean queers for Palestine? The reason that's stupid is only because of like if your writers union took a stand on Gaza, you're like, could you just worry about my pay and not attach it, break the union by attaching it to something else? That's what that is. No, you're queer. You think queers are cool in Israel? Sacha Cohen almost got beaten to death making Bruno. The Muslim terrorist didn't.
They don't have legalized gay marriage there, I don't believe.
They don't have civil marriage. You're not allowed to marry someone who's not a Jew.
In Israel?
That was part of the protest.
Well, I don't know that.
Yeah, it's weird. But if you read their news, you could know about it. But nobody. And the thing I realize is it's not about supporting Israel.
Is that true?
A Christian person is legally not allowed to marry a Jewish person in the state of Israel?
It has to be, or it's not recognized. It's not recognized. They don't have civil marriage. You understand that? It's a you know how Muslims are bad because it's a theocracy? Well, also they don't have a constitution.
I just don't like the music.
They don't have a constitution. Even a fucking Arab country has a constitution. They don't have one. They don't. Oh, does Israel have a right to defend itself? Well, at an individual level, no. They have no right to bear arms. They have no Second Amendment because they have no constitution. They started handing them out guns after October 7th, but you as a person, an individual, you're not supposed to be able to have a gun to defend. Only authority. You remember they showed that teacher with the rifle on her back in the day when Columbine happened? They go, in Israel, they know. Well, a teacher's an authority, so that's why she could have a rifle, and she's on the frontier. I didn't know any of this shit, okay? But then I find out, so now Bibi was about to be run out. He's corrupt as fuck. What you notice here is if you're not supporting Bibi, it's not Israel. You have to support Bibi Netanyahu and his bullshit. Okay? There's a bunch of people that don't like it. And I mean, as racist as it is, and they have the same New York style walls of pretending it's not a problem. But
yeah, especially in like Tel Aviv and shit.
The ultra Orthodox Jews who they used to be just called Orthodox, but they call them ultra because they don't think Israel. They think Israel's blasphemous.
Up.
Yeah. The final form. But they get. We will have footage of IDF beating up those Jews with the fucking hats because they're against doing that. There's a whole bunch of people against it. So again, I'm not for or against Zionism. I think Israel exists because where'd all our money go if it's not there? And I think
Raytheon.
But we had a tiki torch march with people I thought were creepy because they wanted an ethno state. I just don't even like the sound of ethno state. And that's what Israel is a racist ethno state. And you've always known, I knew back when I was dating my girlfriend and they're like, are you going to convert? But it's bizarre because, so now I'm the same race because I converted. Like Rachel Dolezal can't do it black, but I could marry my Jewish girlfriend.
Well, obviously that's
and we
crazy,
could,
yeah.
And we could go there and become a settler and get our birthright.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on. What do you think about the Candace Owens getting fired for
Bibi,
it?
they're going to blame.
You got to have opinions
They're going
on
to put
that
all
one.
the crimes on Bibi. They've all turned on him. Chuck Schumer turned on Bibi. And it's because the
I thought you were
Democrats.
going to say Amy.
Who the fuck cares?
One of the Schumers.
One of the Schumers.
So you can't even a little bit criticize what Israel Bibi is doing, and so that's why they went with Trump. And so now the Democrats are mad. Like, could you just cut down on some of the murder because it's looking bad for us? And Biden's not up to it, so that Blinken, the other guy, have to go up and. When they're sitting there not answering questions, they don't like that. It sucks for them. So they have to sit there and they go, "How come they just blew up these fucking civilians?" And he's like, "Oh, well, we can't tell a sovereign nation what to do." Well, but you give them all the weapons and money to do it, so you could just say, "I'm not giving it to you." Couldn't you? This is over. Like, they're in a bad position.
You can cut off the money.
In Michigan, the undecided voter. Did you see that when it was a big? CNN couldn't get their head around. Bill Maher couldn't understand it.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one. What happened?
In Michigan, the primary, the people didn't vote for Trump. They're like, we're not voting because that's where all the Muslims live.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, so Biden betrayed. So they're like, yeah, but Trump doesn't like Muslims. Yeah, but you were supposed to be the woke ones that care about everybody and aren't phobic, and you betrayed them. So fuck you. And all these well-to-do people can't get through their head that they have fucked over Lahaina. Oh, how about the Palestine no one cares about? East Palestine.
It's Palestine for some reason.
No, it isn't. You know the reason. And
yeah, I know.
It's East Palestine. No one it doesn't even go. Lahaina. I said, boy, Joe dead faced me on this joke when I brought up. I'm not like, did they ever find all those missing kids? How many people do you think died in the Lahaina fires? About 150? That's what they said.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, the reason they said 150 is because there were thousands missing. So,
Sure.
Like 9/11, we had missing thousands. And I was like, did they ever find those missing kids, or did Oprah find a buyer? So it's like, I already sold this fucking joke, but like America, I was saying was this.
You already sold it? It's like when Kramer stole all his story.
I can't do a good Elvis impression. So, but I used to say we're in our fat Elvis years of America. Like, we're fucking drugged out of our fucking minds. There's just yes men. Yeah, you're the king.
Everyone's turning into Vegas.
We just start pulling people over with a questionable badge. Right? But I'm wrong about that. It's if Fat Elvis, if he identified as Priscilla, and you have to respect it.
It's one step further.
It's quite a few steps further. Like, I'm a little girl, man. Like that. It's that, and because Dude, I did Sitch and Adams show. I remember. I haven't done it since the Ukraine argument, but I remember Adam called me and he goes, "I believe America's a force for good in the world." And I was like, "Well, I know you identify as that." You can imagine, but seeing it,
Very funny.
Dude, that shit's falling apart. The thing where you go on a dating app and it's a guy with Kyle Dunnigan sent me a clip of he's on Hinge.
Sure.
He gets he goes, "Oh, look at this lovely lady I got." It's like a guy with a fucking beard. You know what happened to the lesbian one? It's just not all of them.
Blink Fitness.
And he texted his friend, who's a funny person and smart, not an idiot, but no, like New York moron Colbert brain. And she was, "That's phobic," because he said, "Look at this beautiful gal." He didn't even say the wrong thing, but she knew he didn't think it was a beautiful gal.
Yeah, sure. Beautiful or a gal.
So all these people, and they got school loans. They paid, well, the really rich ones don't care, but a lot of them went to NYU. And if all the expertise is wrong, so here's the example with Joe. That I had sent him a video of that Malaysian flight I watched some.
Yeah, Ashton Forbes. I had him on my show too.
I watched, yeah, okay.
With the fucking orbs.
So Joe is not as just open to
Joe
fucking
who?
wacky. Rogan.
Okay.
He goes, "Yeah, but somebody debunked that," and we talked about it on the show because I sent it to him. And he goes, "Yeah, the expert said it was from a video game. It's not. I believe the nerd is not from a video game, but he's the expert." They go, "Well, it's good you bring it up, Joe, because I don't know if you know this, and you look it up if you want. A video expert also debunks that CNN changed you to look green. You're the thing I could see with my eyes."
Yeah.
We played on Jimmy's show. We couldn't believe it. They're like,
Do you think there's anything funky with the bridge? The Baltimore Bridge went down 3 days ago. A lot of videos.
Okay, it could be literally anything. Think of, we have more enemies in the Fantastic Four from Marvel Comics, and America is basically like a private equity buys a company. That's why Boeing sucks and all these they don't care about selling the thing.
No, you are right. That is one specifically.
We are
American
a hollowed
thing.
out. So everything's been hollowed out. So that's why
company that is an American thing.
They're not above planning shit. I would never say that, but they also don't have to. Like vultures don't have to plan. These guys circle around, and if
more importantly, you have to buy it and then sell it off for more than it was worth, right? So it's a different game.
Dude,
that venture game is a different game for sure.
It's not. It's like we just extract all the wealth. Fucking loaded people.
You more so get rid of the expenses is more of the game where you're just like, hey, I'm going to buy this thing that's kind of like a crappy asset, but it's worth $1 million.
Yeah, I don't care about anything else.
We spend $2 million.
I'm an
a year.
international citizen.
You fire everybody.
Turn that down to 700. This janitor who's 80 who doesn't do anything's gone. Like all that sort of shit.
That's right. It's like pure psychopathy. And I had friends that I had a friend that was
safety officer's gone.
He sold real internet or domain names like real estate is how he got money. He's the one who told me to buy Bitcoin when it was like not Super Mario money, and I didn't understand it, so I didn't. And he was like, he had a job shipping jobs out of America who were doing blow. He goes, yeah, I'm like a global, dude, I'm like an international citizen. Like I don't give a shit about that because it's local. It's like giving a shit about when Spike Lee goes, you can't wear not a Knicks jersey out in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about your local moron shit. A really rich person feels that way about America. You're a state in a country called NATO.
I can see that, yeah.
No, that's what it is. That's why.
Well, some of them. Some people don't think that
Gamergate
way
2.
of America.
What would you say?
I said some people don't think that way of America.
Well, they're wrong.
Rich, but
No. The people that run the shit do. The people that run
I know people that do care about America that have money.
Do they go to the Bilderberg meeting and decide we'll stay in Ukraine forever and do this and that? I'm talking about the people that run the shit. I'm not talking about, dude, rich people that I didn't realize this for a long time. Like people I think are rich.
Well, there's some argument among that too, right? Like not every fucking
they're
billionaire's
chumps
a globalist.
too. Listen, they're chumps. No, it's not being a globalist. That's like, what is this? A Jew conspiracy? It's not a globalist. It's an think.
No, I just mean globalist in terms of America's just one little tiny part of, I'm a global citizen.
If you're rich and you travel, you become that without any WF thing, just the attitude, the way I feel about going to a hometown after I moved to New York. You get cosmopolitan. It's not like
that's true.
It's not like a conspiracy. It's what happens.
But some people are still, Drake to Toronto. You have the allegiance to the hometown.
Yeah, well, he's dumb.
But they exist. That's all I was saying.
But he doesn't run anything. He's a slave.
No, but I'm saying there's billionaire versions of that where it's America's still they ride for their hometown still.
Yeah, and but that's not who controls it, and that's why the things that don't make any sense are happening, because the people, when they say the deep state, all that means is the people that all those things we lost, like
There's that for sure. And then on top
they
of that,
don't lose their job.
Well, there's also people that are just
Steve
incentivized.
Renazizi paid a higher price for lying about 9/11 than Dick Cheney for lying about 9/11. Sure. Do you understand how insane that is?
That's such a fucking good point.
But it's an obvious point. Here's the
Renazizi's
thing.
the man,
I'm
dude.
not smart. It's just once you see it, you can't unsee it, and then you go, "Oh, what the fuck?" And if you're a comic, that's why I think it'd be even easier, because you're like, "Wait a minute, like." How long can you fall for the same trick, everyone? That's all
Problem
I'm
is,
saying.
people are so like just do not give a shit about that. People are like do not care. Sometimes you ever. I'm sure
Yeah.
you've had this where you try and explain to someone this and you're like,
Everyone says it
they're
to my
like-
face
and
while I'm
they're-
talking.
and they're like, I like sports.
Well, here's the great news, and I want to make this clear to anybody watching.
Somewhat rational to some degree.
I'm not like, if you don't believe anything I'm saying, I don't give a shit. Let's say you go, "Hey, Kurt, you've just convinced me." That affects nothing. Like,
I mean, if you convince
I believe-
everybody, maybe.
but
not.
it's on record that I said this shit.
Hey,
That's
I've-
all that
Well,
I'm saying.
but ideally,
I'm
if you
talking-
convince every person about that, then you.
I ain't
might-
Jehovah Witness no more. I'm just telling you, all you got to do on your own level, if you think I'm wrong, just don't. You know.
Well, wrong's, I think, just an incorrect representation of what I would say sometimes. It's like, okay, sometimes when you look at something, there is just more factors. Doesn't mean your factor is wrong. It means
Yes,
it might
there's a
be,
lot.
It might mean the picture is a little more expanded. Like, you know,
It always is.
everyone's picture is some version of you're not seeing the whole board, because the board is somewhat infinite in some ways, right?
Well, just
so I just mean
understand-
sometimes I'm just like, well, yeah, that, and also, you know, I'm yes-anding sometimes, if anything, improv.
Well, here's
style.
the thing that simplifies it. The money, number one, because this is why I laugh at people. Like, I brought this up a lot, like, with a, you know, like, because Jimmy got invited to Bohemian Grove, and that fighter just said that Bohemian Grove, they tied him to a tree, and he had to watch Child.
Yeah, what's that guy's
Ryan
name?
Garcia.
Ryan Garcia.
Okay, and then and I saw it, not the original clip. I saw some Christian, because I like Bible scholarship things, like not like you know, just the actual history shit. So I'll get in my algorithm like born again channels, right? So the guy's like a Christian, whatever, watching it, and
A
he's
lot of that right now.
it's the best time to sell it.
It's a big time to sell it.
A lot of weird shit. But he goes, he's listening to the guy's story about being tied. And he's like, he's with it, right? Because they all have a thing like, yeah, Hollywood.
He's listening to Ryan Garcia's story.
Yeah, and then Ryan Garcia goes, you know, they can't hurt me. I'm a god. And the guy goes, ah!
lost me.
And I go, dude, that's hilarious. Like, you're a god, but they were able to tie you to a tree and make you watch. He goes, they literally, you just said they touched you, and in fact tied you up like a fucking, like a chick.
I mean,
so
they did that to Jesus too, though.
So the thing he's talking about that sounds crazy, like I told this to Alex Jones when I saw years ago the tape of him infiltrating Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, I remember.
And I wasn't impressed. I was like, just looks like a stupid, like some goofy shit they do. Like how Nixon called it the F slurriest thing he's ever been to, that famous quote.
Yeah.
But that's the fucking blindness. I was looking for something, but there are things right there. The cremation of care ceremony. These are all very important people. They go, we are
You're saying originally you're
the
like,
ceremony-
this is some eyes wide shut bullshit.
No, yeah, the ceremony is to not the cremation of care. The thing that looks like the stupid thing is not a big deal. No, that is a big deal.
So what happens?
We're cremating our guilt for the evil shit we do.
That's what happens at Bohemian Grove.
It's in your fate. That's
Talk to me like I don't totally know what you're
cremation
talking about.
of care. You never saw that?
Yeah, I saw the Bohemian Grove thing, but you're saying that
It's called
what happens is a bunch of rich people go to Bohemian Grove, and the main part of it is this cremation of care ceremony.
Yeah, it's in the tape. If you ever saw, you told me you saw it.
Burn
So.
effigies and stuff.
Yeah, I thought you saw the tape, like you said. So that's why.
Years ago.
But it's a big owl, and they burn.
giant
They don't
owl,
burn a real kid. They burn a fake body, like a Burning Man. It looked like a Burning Man for really gay.
The owl. That's what you're saying.
Okay, and
All
but,
right.
but if you listen to what they're saying, it's a ceremony about how we're not going to fucking feel bad for all the evil murders we did on a scale that's unprecedented every fucking year. That's what that's for.
Like
That's
a forgiveness thing?
no forgiveness is you care and you want forgiveness.
Okay, this is we're washing it away.
Yeah, with a big owl statue. And so the enormity of that is... so I always say, like, hey, if they want to drink a baby once on the full moon in the woods, that'd be just that. That's 900% better than the satanic devil sacrifice they do in front of you. All them homeless people on the fucking ground. You're like, are there extra dimensional entities that we can't perceive? but like not non-human entities. Yes, they're called the homeless. They live in another dimension, and sometimes I make contact with them. I use CE5 protocols. Maybe one day I'll communicate. Like Bill Maher lives in another dimension. Do you understand? Like he doesn't have any idea about the homeless that are right there. So like all the fantastical shit, you realize it's all like metaphorically all works, and the shit right in front of you is like, wait, this is. Well, here's the thing I noticed when we watch a Vice. Now this is while Vice is owned by the CIA Times. This girl exposing Cuba. She snuck into Cuba like it's North Korea to film. Okay, and I'm watching it, and this really hit me when I watched this. So she's going down the street, and like, you know, they have old crappy stuff and all that. And I was like, wait, where's all their homeless people? I was like, wait, they can't even afford homeless people? Dude, you can't do the old Cuba has shitty Packard cars. There's no one laying on the ground.
Yeah, there's no.
You ever see a picture of the Great Depression? Where they have the tin shacks and the miserable fucking people? Downtown LA doesn't look as good as that. The fuck is it? So the numbers, so Bill Maher, people don't want to work jobs. There's plenty of jobs.
That's the craziest
so those are called
simplifications of everything.
Well, people think that. Those are called ghost jobs, okay? Give it a goog. It's after the pandemic, these companies that are overworking their employees, like, you know, your kind of jobs where you have to devote your life to the job and not just go home to your family.
Do your watch at 30?
Yeah, and they fucking... to make them think we're hiring help. We got all these. We just can't find anybody. That's number one reason they do it. The number two reason is now they call it a warm talent pool. By the way, this is not an expose. They say this out loud, like BB supporting Hamas. You're just not going to look at it. So when these people get sick of it, they can just hire these people. And third, it inflates
warm talent pools. That is a creepy word. I agree.
It sounds like something you would say about some chicks, you know.
Say there's a warm talent.
Like you think about your girl's friends, like she got a warm talent pool. But the main thing is it inflates the price of this stock. So we're back to price. Everything is a con job to inflate the. So when people. Like my friends that make like...
But that's not a con job, though. It is true. If the company is worth more, if these employees leave, we're going to be fine. That would be a company that's worth more.
No, they're saying we're doing so fucking well that we're trying to hire people and we can't even get enough employees because, as you know, big companies hiring a lot of employees. Remember when they said job creators, that Frank Luntz guy who's warning dumb shit Democrats to stop the crazy Trump attacks because they're going to get him elected? Frank Luntz invented the term job creators, which is... I mean, how do people hear that and think that's accurate? No, if I'm running a business, my goal is not to create jobs. The customer is a job creator. My goal is to run as lean as possible and not create jobs, okay? So that's already a lie on the face of it.
That's kind of true.
But everybody, I didn't go to business school. How the fuck do I know that? Nobody notices, but it became a catchphrase. And
you're creating more jobs than if you didn't exist is the idea, I guess. Right?
No, you actually are trying to always make sure you're not. People need to buy shit, and so you hire as few as you can. Demand. It's not supply side. It's the demand side. Demand is what governs creating jobs. I want a McDonald's, so we got to open a McDonald's. The person that owns it, this is just basic business sense. It's not. I'm not saying it's immoral. They should be doing the thing they do.
You don't think a company can create demand?
Well, they do that. Okay, 100%. That's a different thing. But yes, of course.
Yeah, obviously, right?
Like Nike invented a need for Nike by exploiting the chick that came up with the swoosh, and they're like, I don't like it. You know all the superhero IPs that they queer them up? I found out from Ethan Van Sciver that's to not pay the family residuals by changing it.
That is a hilarious.
Is that really? That's what it is?
Yes, of course. All the things are that. All the things.
That one definitely is. That's for sure.
So all you got to hear is like it's for the freedom, or if they say democracy, then you're like, oh my God, this is something really bad. Like this is fascism. Fascism is not taking your kids to a drag show. Fascism is a fusion of corporate and government power, as stated by Mussolini very clearly. It's not the same as Nazism, okay? Nazism it's called National Socialism, but it's racial socialism, meaning the nation is only people of our same race. So it's much like Zionism. The nation is just our group. Fascism had Jews in it. You just had to be born in Italy, okay? So that was actually National Socialism, but they didn't call that. Fascism comes from fascio, which means a bundle of sticks. So if you want to translate it, it's faggotism is the literal.
I was just listening to
Is it? Now, when you ban words, you want to defeat fascism? It's baptism. Not the gay slur, a bundle of sticks. The symbol is a bundle of sticks. On The Simpsons, Martin Prince, when the nerds join, he goes, like this bundle of sticks, we will be a strong, mighty faggot. And that's like a great joke that's not harmful and in fact helpful, that you have to think twice about if you have to cut that out. Oh, the Muslims, you can't draw a picture of their guy. What primitives. You can't say a woman doesn't have a fucking dick here. No, you owe them a fucking apology. Osama bin Laden deserved better than this shit. Yeah. I'm glad he's not alive to see.
Well, he might be.
Make Satan great again is
if
my
Osama
motto.
bin Laden saw someone getting banned from Blink Fitness for life for posting that photo.
Dude, we were the great Satan. I remember that. We were the great Satan, and now we're the fat fuck Sam Smith in a vest with a top hat at the fucking Grammys dancing like a fucking flamer while sponsored by Pfizer. Devil.
Yeah.
It's an insult to the goddamn devil. The creepy part is not Sam Smith dancing in his thing. The creepy part is brought to you by Pfizer. You used to lose sponsors for that shit.
Yeah, sure.
Now you lose sponsors. I'll lose sponsors for saying he's fat fuck.
Yeah, gay used to be fun. Now you're just a guy walking your husband's dog.
And you know who I blame? The cool gays that like Joan Rivers because they want to fuck young Twinkies. They sold everybody out. Just like a dude chasing pussy. Oh, my girlfriend says I gotta be more fucking less problematic. Gay guys, you're straight, by the way. Regular gay guys, you're fucking straight. Might as well be any of us sitting here.
Sure, they got kicked the fuck out of the club.
Yeah. So maybe you shouldn't have chased asshole like that. Listen, I've been saying on stage about how, because I can't support trans women enough. It destroyed feminism. Bless you, trans women. God bless you. Intersectional feminism, you dumb fucking slags invited a snake into your bosom because you're fucking stupid and weak. And I know you are because I watch sports. And they're so much better than you, these new, easier to clean women. And you hate it, don't you, you fucking clam. You, like, you know, I can't imagine being born with two assholes. And one of them's on backwards and it shits blood. I'll bet you're jealous.
Yeah.
Trans women all the way.
All day.
All right,
I'm going to say that on stage in New York somewhere, by the way.
Oh,
I've been saying, I love to say it because it's so it's so funny to watch people hoisted by their own petard.
Yeah.
Such as the nation of America.
Final thoughts on Huberman.
I can't believe they see how delusional that chick. This is how I know woke's over from October 7th, because I wrote a tweet like, "Hey, dingbat." I called the bitch dingbat that wrote that.
Which one? Oh, that wrote this. Yeah.
I go, after Amber Heard, nobody gives a shit.
We're done with that.
Yeah, sweetie, I'm sorry. Do you wear a mask still?
That was your joke with COVID. We're not doing that anymore.
Seth Simons. Dude, first of all, can I recommend Seth Simons? It's not Substack.
I saw you tweeting about that.
I'm touched by this dude. Seth Simons wrote an article about how sad he is that people aren't like masking and shit, and he describes my joke about like how one comedian said like it's over because he stopped caring about it when Ukraine started. It was my joke.
Yeah.
It was funnier than me saying it. Him, like he really paid attention and it deeply, like. So Seth, what have you gleaned from that? That maybe it's a lie? No. Oh, I can't believe that. Dude, Lori Kilmartin, who I've always liked, became Darth Vader. She has an air purifier around her neck.
I know, I saw it.
Do you see people in masks?
It does not work.
People
There's
wearing the
zero chance that thing works.
Okay, the one mask that maybe works is the Taylor Lorenz face yarmulke N95. The surgical mask, if you're wearing that, you're
Nothing.
fucking you're gonna worse off than not wearing.
Performative.
They never worked, and they knew all the nurses and shit knew the whole time. Okay, but somehow I wore it. Like I'm like I guess but the people that are in charge.
Mask day too.
Dude, my friend goes, if I hear one more person say natural immunity, I'm gonna something. He said it like that's a conspiracy. So do people not remember things or like I don't understand. But all you got to do is just not fucking forget things you always knew because they told you to. Because maybe your job. Don't be a fucking career cunt. That's all you got to do, and the whole thing falls apart. And it is.
You're just
Wrestling, P. Diddy, fucking Democrats, hilarious. That's Wile E. Coyote. on every fucking level. Like that bitch going, well, I'm not a biologist. Like an expert needs to tell me.
Yeah.
Then what did I stick my dick in?
It's literally someone asking you like, yo, did your boy fuck around on his girl? And you're like, oh, I'm not his fucking, I even didn't follow him around.
That's more noble. That's more noble.
I know it's more noble, but it's the same principle.
That's the thing where you're like, I've been in that situation where I go, look, whatever he does, I tell him I don't want nothing to do with it, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, sure.
Because I care about the person I'm talking to. This bitch is thinking about her fucking career, and that's a rock star answer she gave. I don't know. It's a plea to authority, first of all. Like
I'm not saying the crazy stuff. They're saying it.
No, it's worse than that. It's going, I'm not qualified, an owner of a pussy. I'm not qualified to say what a woman is. So I don't know what a woman is. I don't know what a vaccine is. I don't know. Take your pick of things. They jammed so many definitions into the words. They made them all loose, so all the meaning just slides
She's just
out.
signaling to all her people.
You can't gape all the words.
Can't gape the words.
Okay, the word woman is a loose asshole.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what it is? Well, you have no idea, bitch? That's great. You are a woman.
Not a clue, yeah.
You know what it is you got a masculine and feminine side. I like watching the thing where they talk about high-value males. On like for dating, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Because I'm like what's called I want to start a thing called Coach Dick Pill, and because I'm like a low value male.
Yes,
and I always do better than high value males. And you know what? I got a yacht. It's in my fucking pants. That's why. That's why.
You want to see this?
Yeah.
Fucking hold on.
Will not be here Friday.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what this is. A guy does a boot camp. Have you seen this?
I love it. Wait, which one is this?
Because I see your eyes that most
It's like 10 grand, isn't it?
And I'll be dead. I'll take this
Dude, and Trump
right
University
off
was a
my
con.
Okay,
You
so-
paid 10 grand for this guy to make you roll in the mud and do
This is
BDSM.
18K alpha male boot camp. And people are getting ridiculed, but this is the best. The guy goes, I'll take my fucking knife and carve this fucking tattoo off my fucking hand and blah, blah, blah.
Is this a Stephen King book? Where
But can you imagine meeting the guy that brings a girl home and she's like, dude, you're kind of a pussy. And you're like, oh, that's funny because I have a 18K
I have my
certificate.
certificates
you know what's really alpha?
from Alpha Male Con.
You know what the most alpha thing I can think of is to never mention that weird dude astrology of if you're a Sigma or a Beta or an Alpha.
Pretty good.
Like a Gemini,
sure.
you fucking pussy.
Dude astrology.
If you believe in that, like to that degree, like I don't know what the wolves and shit do, but if you're like, oh, I can train by paying this guy my money.
18K.
Hey, I'll come over and fuck your wife, and then you'll be an alpha.
Money well spent.
Okay, you like this? You feel mad? You're gonna be a man. Like, yeah, boy, he really helped me. 10 grand. I had to stand in a circle while I fuck my wife. I had to be handcuffed to a toilet with an "I'm with her" shirt.
Sure.
Kumail Nanjiani made that up. That's pretty funny.
That's pretty funny. I think what happens is like a guy comes in and he's sort of that guy, and he was like, "Listen, my wife left me. Like, you don't have to make the same." Like he kind.
That's a gay man.
It's a bit of
That's a fucking strong gay man who is swindling them because gays are really good at suppressing it. Roy Cohn gay, I call it. Okay, you know, 3 can keep a secret if 2 are dead. You've heard that, right? Ben Franklin said that.
Oh,
He said that before moving pictures. Okay, 3 can keep a secret if they each stick their dick somewhere it shouldn't go, and they film it, and they all can't talk about it, or else they're all in trouble. That's how secrets are kept.
the P. Diddy
We
method.
live in a future.
Yeah.
We don't live in Ben Franklin times. But that's what
But
that
I'm
is.
picturing-
They're always gay. Richard, they're always gay. To be like alpha man, like you cross to gay so quickly. You gotta stop jerking off and hold your I can't believe how much.
Well, it's
shit-
sort of like
pipeline.
it's like a scared alpha situation. Like they have a bunch of betas coming in, being like, "My wife fucking left me. It's gonna be," you know what I mean?
just walk in and take up the space. Like all I do is walk in and I take up whatever space I take up. Like I'm not like trying to conquer you. But I'm not like, oh, am I taking up too much space like a bitch thinks?
If you got a gift certificate for the Alpha Male University, would you go?
Can we get, dude, I'll go. I'm not
crowdfunded.
It's all Jews. There was a half off.
Look, I'm not. Dude, this guy, Russell Dobular, did you do their show, Do Dissonance? They wanted
No,
you.
I've never done that. I've never even heard of it. What is dissonance?
Do Dissonance. They're great. Russell and Keaton, they're in New York, but they're both Jewish, by the way, and know a bunch of shit about how it really works.
Okay.
But Russell goes, Israelis are the only Jews that aren't funny.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, those are the Arab ones. The Arabs are funnier. Those are the macho. You don't mess with the Zohan.
Yeah.
They're horse.
It's a different type.
And Guido bullshit, but not even as sophisticated as an Italian's racist Guido. You know,
You can't be that funny with your chest hair out in a gold chain.
it's a completely different mindset.
It's just a different guy, yeah.
Yeah, and then like
Middle Eastern guys, yeah.
you know, like the thing of like I said, man, it's fucked up on purpose, and this is on purpose. People go, oh, like a piece of shit like that Fuentes kid, like, oh, the Jew. It's not the Jews, dickhead. There's a bunch of Jews that aren't. Candace Owens leaves, and because she said Christ is king, and they're like, they're yelling at her. I'm like, is Christ not a Jew anymore? Did they retcon that? Is he not like he's not Lizzo or something? Right?
Candace Owens is pretty smart with her exit strategy of just being like, I'm leaving and fucking God's the man, unless you disagree.
No, here's what I love. And I have high hopes for Chris Cuomo because I heard he's a good guy.
He seems all right.
Yeah.
Did you watch Candace Owens where you could tell she's like, no, Chris, I won't let you do this. Tucker Carlson's the greatest example.
Don't let you do what? What it?
He's going on about how Putin is so evil. He sounded like an idiot.
And Candace Owens was talking to Chris Cuomo, and she said,
I
never saw
Chris.
this one.
I'm not going to let you. So people like Chris. Okay. Don Lemon, that guy's an empty fucking gay shell that without the prompter and the thing, he has no coherent thought pattern.
The emptiest gay shell.
And I want a fucking one of those trucks that are gross and I hate. And I want equity in your full company and your space stuff. And I want to control what people can say. He wrote that. He doesn't have a contract. Trust me. He'd never signed a contract. After he did that,
I want a spaceship.
Dude, after that fucking moron did that idiotic interview on his own, he's still doing a show on X for free.
Dude, his YouTube channel gets like 10,000 views on his podcast. He had like Monique 10K.
Monique has a real audience.
I know, and he's not. Yeah, and he just gets the Club Shay Shay rejects.
Dude, Monique
people who are like did it.
Listen,
brutal.
Monique can produce the numbers of revenue she generates, but that Don Lemon cannot. Okay. Don Lemon says the day after, he goes, yeah, well, on news channels, like, of course we think about the advertisers and we know like not to cross. Okay, fuckface. You would watch what you said about an advertiser, which by the way is the conspiracy that you said isn't real. That's what the conspiracy is. Advertisement, rule your life. You don't have to be told not to say, don't take Ozempic. You know not to say it, okay? Because that's your advertiser. Money is the Satan thing. That's corrupt. It's not like all the thing. Like, oh, what's corrupting the kid? It's fucking money. What did you think it was?
Behind the curtain?
Well, like what? So you understand not to piss off an advertiser. A guy that maybe was giving you $50 million, you couldn't figure out based on the advertiser knowledge that you have to not.
I think his plan had to have been
to get hired back at CNN.
To be honest,
but
like,
they don't want him.
I think it was I know it's a girl analogy again, but it is the guy with like a hot chick and she's just around so you can let other chicks know that you can get hot chicks. I think to some degree.
Boy, you describe somebody very well. Oh, but I won't say what, but I'll tell you after.
You know what I'm saying though?
Yes, I do.
But I think that's what Don Lemon had to have been doing. Like, I think he is not the smartest guy, but I do think like this was a play where
Seems
he was
Don Potato.
He had to. It didn't work out for him. It didn't work. It was a fucking all brick shot. But I think he was kind of saying, "Hey, Elon Musk is even Elon Musk wants me, and then I'll go whoever the highest bidder, I'll trash him."
You know what he is
for you?
He's a Jussie Smollett with enough sense not to do the thing Jussie Smollett did, but the same level of retard.
100%. Yeah, and I think that he was kind of.
You can say retard again. Do you know that?
The retard's back, dude. I was saying,
retarded came back in a big way.
I've been doing a joke about how there's 2 R words and 2 F words, and I found out because the girl's like, this guy went to jail for R word, and I'm like, I don't know if you can put him in jail for that. And then she was like, I'm talking about sexual assault, and I'm like, well, how retarded is he? Because
the thing I've been saying is because Greta Thunberg is smart, she's like smart-hearted.
Yeah, I love that. The best part of that joke is after where you just go, well, anyways, she just found out about global warming. She won't go to school.
It's just to be ignorant. It's longer, but that's the part that cuts well.
I love it.
But like one likes wrestling, one likes anime. If you got a Blade Runner, if you're out
smart-hearted likes anime and retarded likes wrestling.
That's about right.
Smart-hearted.
Harrison Ford taught me that.
Yeah. And then I think Don Lemon
guys
would be
tard
gay.
hunters?
Don Lemon would be
Hunters?
gay-tarded.
Oh, he's a gay. Yes, he's a gay tard. Without a doubt.
That's you know what I mean?
His development has been retarded by his gayness, which I wouldn't think it was a thing, but I watched it happen. I didn't believe in sex addiction, but I know it's real, and gay tardation definitely is real after Don Lemon.
Yeah, because I think
He didn't make one coherent point. I don't even know what his point was. That he
Did you
was,
see the other? I don't know.
he's bad.
we covered it.
Would you see
Bad
with
point.
Kara Swisher?
huh?
He did an interview, his second episode with Kara Swisher. She's like that lesbian tech reporter chick, and then basically he was saying like he's like, I don't know if Elon Musk didn't like my questions because I'm gay or
It didn't help.
or because I'm black. That's
can I tell
literally
you, Don,
and then she's like, probably just because you're gay.
Don, listen,
respect the plan.
Insane question.
Don, I'm going to be honest. They didn't add anything.
I mean,
They didn't help with you being the biggest idiot that's ever.
he's just yeah.
But guess what? I learned that Bill Maher and Kid Rock have the same knowledge of world events.
That sounds about right, yeah.
Kid Rock was that's the thing I'm talking about this over because like, yeah, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, bro.
Bomb them all, yeah.
We didn't do those the first week, Kid Rock. You absolute genius.
Wasn't day one.
Those were like desperation thing. And by the way,
The war was already over. They didn't even need to.
Kid Rock sold 10 more. He sold fucking 100K more tickets off that
Oh,
comment.
big time.
have you heard the bullshit that ISIS attacked Russia?
Yeah, I feel like actually I meant to. That was one of the things I wanted to ask you. I feel like that's so shit that you know kind of the inside.
If you had
scoop
to
about.
guess, if it was ISIS, what would you think?
So Russia says
So
it's not
who is
ISIS.
it? No, Russia
So
says it is
Ukraine,
ISIS.
here's what happened. Ukraine, so they lost a while ago. Now it's really sad they're giving them money because they're grabbing people off the street and shoving them in vans, and they're trying to get them deported out of the refugees back to fight. The average age
That sucks.
The average age of the soldier is 50 years old.
Yeah.
Is that true?
At this
You didn't
point,
know that?
yeah.
It was 46.
Average
It
age of a
keeps going
soldier
up.
is 50.
Well, it keeps going up because they're losing all the young people.
So again,
Yeah,
this is my friend that works at Bill Maher because Bill read the numbers because they lied. They
Sounds
go,
like CNN's audience.
yeah, they make it like it's been an even match. Like Russia is a huge country with like there was never a chance, guys. What they think is like Putin. How would you not understand this? Once you fucking forced his hand, and that was NATO behind that. That's NATO's fault. Okay, Putin has no choice but to invade when you keep bombing. Half the people speak Russian.
yeah. It's
So
like
Crimea voted to not be with them. Why? Because the Banderaites, who are fucking Nazis, banned other languages such as Russian, Yiddish. Imagine if they banned speaking Spanish here. We're gonna de-Spanishify.
We did, but
the studio, at least.
No, I don't mean here in Safe Haven, but here in Wolfenfarg. We have some Viking name for this secret.
I was doing a thing where I was asking people if there's Italians in the crowd and if there ever isn't. And I'm just like, you're telling me that there is a paradise.
So they've been losing the whole time, but just shoveling money into it. And I guess people just write off like, yeah, no, of course we off the top, like you worked the skim in Vegas. Of course we cut off a couple trillion off the top for mass murder. No,
It's a line item.
And when I talk to people, like Attell's a fucking smart motherfucker, and he will pick out news from watching business news because you follow the money and all that shit, right? But I can tell people older than me when I talk about these things now. I don't even want to talk about them, but I'm like, I cannot even believe what I can't believe right now. And so that's the thing of, hey, Iraq didn't do it. I don't want to hear that. I watch what people's wall is that comes down. So when I would do the Seller podcast, and it's Hatem and Noam, and Ukraine
Did you
came
do
out.
that recently on the Israel stuff?
Yeah, Hatem cried when I told him that cotton candy thing. We didn't bring it up, but I know the guy Boris saw it because it's one of the most fucked up things I've ever heard in my life. But Hatem keeps it moving too fast because it's almost like everyone's dude, there should not be a thing that you're too nervous to bring up rationally. If that's a thing, if we have a third rail of politics, that means you have a fucking fake, fucked up country. If you have a thing that you can't talk about, you're the North Korea, motherfucker. It's not North. And you know why North Korea is a hermit kingdom? Let's say North Korea's like, hey, we're going to do freedom and be good with America. They know goddamn well America's going to fuck them like we did Libya. Remember Muammar Gaddafi? Did you know Libya had the highest standard of living in all of Africa? Did you know that before we killed him? I remember we were rehabbing him. He was visiting in a tent with his fucking hot Ukrainian bodyguards. Remember that?
I watched actually the Dictators.
Do you know why they?
Him.
Yes, and you know why they killed him? That was mainly France, but America helped. Hillary, you just hear cackling about how he got fucked. We came, we saw, he died.
Died a hero.
He was gonna, and I thought this was funny. I watched a documentary.
That's why I want to go.
Well, I mean,
Bayonet up
no.
your ass.
If I have to go,
Square.
hey, that's how you go to straight to Valhalla.
Cheers, boys.
So Cozy was in. They promised the rebels France oil if we overthrew him, and he was going to go off of the petrodollar, which I had never heard of until a few years ago. You know, when they go, fiat currency's worth. No, it's based on you have to use it to buy oil.
People are getting a little frisky trying to get off the petrodollar now.
They did. They did. And at the time when BRICS started, the mainstream consensus was like, yeah, and then the next thing is Marco Rubio freaking the fuck out. Like a year later, he goes, we won't be able to do sanctions. You know, sanctions are...
Sanctions is the reason they're doing BRICS.
Yeah.
It's like you kept like...
You weaponized.
You're like, hey, we're going to use our money. Also, we can take it at every time.
This is why it makes me sick to hear about how Putin or whoever's bad. And liberals love sanctions. They love it. That's what cancel culture is.
They do love sanctions.
Cancel is deplatforming.
Yeah.
You're right. It is sanctions.
And that's why they're mad. Like my buddy that does Nerdrotic, they're mad that he had to lose his comic shop but has a channel thriving, making fun of their shit.
That must fucking piss people off when you kick them out and then they're doing better.
No, canceling...
Which is mostly what happens
Dude,
now.
The shit, watching Anna Kasparian say the CIA... they're not even competent. They don't do what you think they're spying on you. Bitch, have you not been around for the last 20 years? Like, you sound like there's no cancel culture. How come Chappelle still works?
Yeah, it is that very much.
Oh, I must have made up the term cancel culture myself.
I also
the middle-aged white
made up
guy.
seeing them.
Yeah.
So it's like when Nazis would go, it wasn't 6 million Jews. It was only like 2 million. Okay, do you think that's good? And also,
That's good.
okay. If it wasn't 6 million, are you saying it should be 6 million? That's what cancel culture. Sanctions are fucking terrorism. Why would you starve a population? Madeleine Albright, that old interview, where before we even went back to Iraq, we killed 500,000 kids.
I'm thinking about it. It's the exact same principle. Great point.
There's simple principles. We killed 500,000. Well, it turned out to be only 250,000 kids. Thank God, starved to death.
Okay.
Because we put sanctions on them. And the 60 Minutes, I can't remember what 60 Minutes bitch goes, but she goes, was it worth it? And Madeleine goes, I think so. So that's, at the time they thought 500,000 children, it was 250. So that's why I'm saying, don't be too hard on Israel, guys. You live in a psychopathic death cult, evil fucking thing yourself. And they're like your little, it's like P. Diddy has his co-conspirators, as above, so below. I'm making a magic esoteric novel called As the Carpet, So the Drapes. And it's all about this principle. It's all about my astral projecting during pandemic. Like Madame Blavatsky. Like I communed with ancient. I want to write a joke like how Norm did his biography, but fake. It's like I want to take just me watching a lot of YouTubes and make it into some mystical thing. Do you know what I mean? I watched a lot. I traveled to another fucking world.
Sure.
I got a lot of artist friends that are good that'll make like because dude, all that shit. It's so funny if you deep dive into it. Like Jack Parsons, the rocketry guy.
What is his deal?
He was the father of American rocket. You look him up, he's famous. And L. Ron Hubbard stole his wife. He was a Thelema, like a Aleister Crowley magic guy. And him and L. Ron Hubbard were like, this is a vital component of rocket science, besides the math that I can't do, is sitting and jerking off and looking in L. Ron Hubbard's eyes. The jerking off, but you can't come.
Vital component.
Dude, look, it's... When you think about, like, this makes me laugh because I get curious. I look into all this shit. So people will make these elaborate narratives and stuff. And it's not that there's nothing. What I'm surprised by is the weirder things that are true and the other things that are more mundane that are not true. But people look at it wrong. So they'll look for, like, it's not, conspiracy is not a thing that doesn't exist. It's a thing. But they'll look, oh, did they kill a kid? Is there kids under the Getty Museum? No, in Haiti, we traffic children. In Haiti... Like, it's happening. It's like, hey, is this your card? But they took your watch, meanwhile. That's what all the things are. They're a trick.
I heard a Christopher Hitchens quote where he's actually arguing with the guy from Friends, Matthew Perry, but they were talking about something that he was saying.
Vicodin or Percocet.
Yeah, it was like it was. They were arguing about that.
You know Gore Vidal? Did you ever see the documentary where he turned?
Well, I'm going to say the quote, but he basically said. He was like, well, the consensus is against that. And he was like, consensus is a fancy word for unpopular with powerful people.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Christopher
that's such a
Hitchens?
good point.
Yeah.
Chris Hitchens?
I might be botching it a little, but some version of
No,
that.
he
You're
had-
like so much of conspiracy or anything. You're just like, that's just a word for like popular, like powerful people don't like that. It's unpopular with
Yeah,
them.
he had great fucking lines like that. And I was
Yeah,
always
great
a fan.
one-liners.
And when I remember when Iraq, he was all in on Iraq at the time. He's dead now. But I wonder what he would say now if he'd be like Sam Harris, a dipshit, and stick with his guns. Because Gore Vidal disowned him. He was like the next.
We had
Gore
Douglas
Vidal.
Murray on, and he was sort of kind
Oh.
of part of that crew. So,
Douglas
maybe he
Murray
might have been
Did
somewhere
you
along
notice?
then.
Did you notice? This is the guy that wrote The Madness of Crowds. Douglas Murray. He all of a sudden is gung ho. Michael Rappaport, fake Israel, and he just had work done on his face to look like Sharon Osbourne.
He's a big Western guy, yeah.
That dude, I watched Constantine, what's his name from Trigonometry, give
Yeah.
a speech, and but again, I like. It's not like fuck you and I hate, but like all these Western culture is superior people. Like I want you to really go fuck yourself. Like all the things that I hate and you hate that you're telling me. They didn't come from the Arabs. They came from Western culture. Marxism came from Western culture. Trans bullshit came from Western.
You could argue that cancel culture or whatever came from
Western
religious,
sanctions. No,
sort of
sanctions. Cancel culture is
Yeah,
sanctions.
yeah, that's true.
And just so you know, when you talk about China, the guy that did MMA and embarrassed kung
Well,
fu.
if you're gonna have more freedom, you're gonna have more.
We don't
good
have more
things.
freedom. We have less than China. We don't have more freedom. Did they not touch you yet? They will. Don't worry. The people I hate,
Do you think that's true?
it already happened.
You think there's less freedom
Remember the
in America than
truckers?
China?
Dude, you're
Well, Canada. Canada has less more freedom than here.
that
for sure.
Gamergate 2, all those consulting companies, Ubisoft's a Canadian company.
Yeah.
They're,
I just started looking at that, and
they're
I saw you tweeting
censoring
about
you
It.
here. It's not transnational.
But is it more? The question is it censoring you more than somewhere else?
Well, say the wrong thing, get kicked off of PayPal, and get kicked. Again, I don't like Nick Fuentes. I think he's a gay pedo cult running little dumb fake Fed piece of shit. However, he's banned from all as if he lived in China, and so that's a guy I don't like. But if you're gonna let him do
Well,
that,
you just said in your own analogy, you're like as if he lived in China. So you're saying it's kind of like that, but you're
it's
not saying
worse.
it's worse.
It's worse. China, they tell you the rules.
That I've heard you make that
They
point. That I
tell
agree
you.
with.
They don't shadow ban you. You get banned. And here's the other good thing about China, not to be
That part I sort of agree with. You're like, at least it's not. But then again, if you're like a journalist that says the wrong thing, they probably do kind of make you like think about all the billionaires there that they basically kind of are making them disappear if you don't play ball.
I mean, don't make
it
me
might
love
be
you.
worse there than here.
Dude, don't make me love China. So China has billionaires. I'm not like Bernie Sanders.
That one guy, what's the Alibaba guy?
Okay, so all these dumb. I hate fucking.
Ma.
Your billionaire shouldn't exist. I don't care if you're a billionaire, but exist. Whatever. Buy another jet ski, whatever the fuck you get. What I don't want is for you to be in charge of all the learning and vaccines, and we have to drink poop water.
Sure.
I don't want you to buy fake meat, and because you invested in it, we all have to pretend that the Nord Stream pipeline wasn't blown up by us, the largest carbon greenhouse gas emission ever. It was methane, the largest man-made greenhouse emission ever in history. The Nord Stream 2 pipeline.
Yeah.
No, Ukraine didn't do it. We obviously.
For sure did it, yeah.
Biden said an OJ speech. If I did it, you fucking moron. I don't know who I'm talking to, but
Joe Biden. He watches the show.
okay. Fucking
he's a
Victoria
Patreon
Newland.
He gave an OJ
Before she
speech.
left, she goes, "Oh, Ukraine's got some surprises," and then, oh wow, ISIS came out of semi-retirement. Didn't kill themselves. They got paid money to go fucking kill civilians and then got captured. That sounds really ISIS-y. Why are they mad at Russia? That doesn't even make sense. Wouldn't they be at the other thing that they traditionally care more about? We don't have to say who they are. but like, you're buying. How does anybody buy these stories? I mean, honestly, dude, that guy lit himself on fire. The active duty serviceman.
Yeah.
He was the second guy within a 3-month period to do that. The other guy, yeah.
There's another guy lit him on fire?
another guy.
Yeah, and I never heard about it until this guy. They had to talk about
First
this
guy.
guy.
So first guy didn't get.
Do you know what they said the reason the first guy did it?
First guy didn't die though, I think.
Well, but you know,
That's
do you know
crappy.
how they explained it away? Why he did that? They said because he was anti-Semitic. He was so anti-Semitic, he lit himself on fire. The servicemen, they were about to send Air Force people to go help bomb in Israel. And the servicemen, who, I don't know if he was woke or not, I don't blame him for going crazy, because if you're one of the people that believes in this shit.
That would be crazy if
I
you
mean,
were
he was calling everybody comrades, I'm pretty sure.
If you were anti-Semitic and then you light
dude,
yourself on
people-
fire and then the gas
Wait.
lasted for 8
First,
days.
let's
Just
establish.
go out already.
That American, that was an active duty guy who was fit for duty, who didn't want to go blow people up, but didn't want to be a pussy. So how do you show you're not a pussy, but you don't want to, you burn yourself alive? So basically, Jesus returned to earth and killed himself again. And a certain group, we don't have to name who, is jeering and mocking him. Oh, what a surprise.
I'm probably in that category. Has been mocking it a little bit.
Well, it's not,
I don't know if
it's
that
not
guy's-
as bad as this one.
I don't know
That's
if that
just
guy's
one.
Jesus.
You don't have two Jesuses you spit on, you know? Everybody gets one Jesus. Everybody gets to spit on one Jesus. But the new Jesus, you guys got another chance to spit on two
I guess I sort of mocked the
I mean, I don't even remember
I
that
sort of
guy's
mocked
name.
the original
Here's the other thing.
Jesus as well, though, yeah.
Like, that guy that died, word of him burning himself alive got back to Islamicists. And as much as it's a joke, the Muslims, Osama bin Laden, all those people thought we approve of whatever the fuck Israel does whenever they do it, and all this other shit that you had no idea we did. But they know that guy lit himself on fire, so that probably is going to save some lives from Muslim terrorists, seeing a guy who's active duty do the and I don't know if you know history, but historically, if someone is in protest lighting themselves on fire, even one person, the war's not going well.
Yeah.
You're not going to win the war. That's just a land war in Asia, and a guy's lighting himself on fire. Now, a Buddhist monk doing it. Buddhist monks do all kind of goofy shit. So that
and it's probably, yeah, there's maybe some indication that you're not as much of the good guy as you think you are.
that's what that is. That's why he's saying when you have a complete break, it's like changing your gender. You know what I mean? Like he had a complete break. I'm gonna have to go bomb. So I'm an American.
We'll wrap up.
That's a real thing they're gonna do. Have U.S. We have people all in Ukraine or whatever. We're lying about it. Like you saw World War III, but nobody wants World War III except us, because if we're losing our hegemony, better to blow up everything. This is like at the crazy town times. So I'm just waiting to see. I watch people pop all the time. Like, again, I'm not smarter than most people. I just am like, I guess I didn't live in New York and the land of like pretending everything's fine while it's on fire. That's what New York's about. This
LA
is fine.
is about that too, though, right?
Certainly, but not as bad. And the reason is,
Why is LA not as bad?
driving versus walking town. This is a prison, you live on top of each other, and it's a more spread out prison in LA. So there's more isolation. So if you lock everybody down, they got nothing to do but look into shit, unless they're stupid. Like, don't do your own research was a thing that people said that I've never heard in my life. But I'm locked up, Your Honor. I can't improve myself. Isn't that suspicious when they say don't do your own research? Don't look in Dad's forbidden mystery closet of
Don't be
wonder and UFOs.
Don't be trying to get your GED in the world.
Yeah, so like Big J's my test case for like regular average like Buffalo Wild Wings brain level of Jay's smart, but he only cares about what he cares about, and he's like, just get it the shot. I got 2 of them. I wish I didn't get any, but my ex at the time was allergic to just there's people that exist that can't take any vaccine. Never, not to disparage the great COVID vaccine that slows the spread. She literally couldn't take it. Any vaccine. Was half Native American. They can only eat pounded out corn on a rock. The white man shit kills them.
Yeah.
So she's not allowed to go to work.
I gotta show you a mask thing since we're fucking chatting.
If you're still masking, you're right.
This is sort of on the other side, but it's pretty funny. The Yellowstone guy.
Say face to face what I want. Like, I just got kicked off a plane in, where the hell am I? Houston, Texas. Because I told them that I didn't feel comfortable sitting next to somebody with a mask.
Wait for this line here, though.
Yeah, I've been drinking.
You know what the funniest
I
thing
was
is?
like, that is not a real man. That's a lizard.
Have you seen though that like
It's funny that imagine the yellow. You were on a plane and the Yellowstone guy was on there fucking being like, I ain't sitting next to no fucking mask guy.
I don't blame him.
I live right.
No
It's hilarious.
furries. No masks or furries.
You know what though? I live
Love it.
right beside a high school in Brooklyn. I don't know if you've seen this, but it's like kind of like a hood thing now to wear masks all the time.
Yes, because they
They're
don't
like
have,
like those surgical
yes.
masks.
Do you know why?
What?
Do you know why?
Stealing, I guess?
Because Obamacare failed, and it's a bunch of people that if they get sick, I'm telling you,
No. These are like 15-year-old
yeah.
hood kids.
No, I know.
This
They
is
have-
not.
Kidding,
This is
right?
not about. Oh, okay.
No, they have families and shit, and they. Do you know they're not like complete animals? They have families, and they don't have insurance. Do you get that?
I get that. This is not that. This
How
is,
do you know?
Because
I know. By the way, I know because
Yeah.
my ex, her fucking Mexican, she was so afraid. That,
They think it's like gangster to wear a mask.
Well,
It's like they're doing the
it is
opposite.
gangster because you can't get your identity.
But no. But like some of them will be wearing
like the
like
best thing that
shiesty.
ever happened
No, but
if
some
you're
of
a
them wear the
gangster guy.
shiesty mask. I'm telling you, they wear surgical, just like those stupid 10-cent surgical.
Well, it's not
masks.
everyone can afford a shiesty, Danny.
okay, do you remember? Well, here's why they wear.
Must be nice, Danny.
Here's why they wear a fucking mask. Okay,
Yeah.
and this is. Well, I remember being at the bus stop as a kid. Okay, and it was after New Year's, and these people's house, there was a condom on their mailbox flag, you know, from a wild New Year's I get. And as kids, so I remember as a kid, I was like, what, they fucked and then put that on their mailbox flag? That's weird that the people that live there would do that, like, you know, dumbass kids. One of my friends goes, yo, you touch that? It was not a used condom, it was probably just unwrapped, but we thought it was probably cummed in. He goes, yo, you touch that, put your finger in your mouth? That's how you get AIDS, yo. Everybody goes, yup. That's why they wear a mask.
I'm telling you, they're not concerned about health at all.
Do you think there's one guy?
Yes, dude, you don't know how black people iron their jeans. You don't, like, you're from Canada, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
I want you out of my country.
Toronto's the hood, dude. I was loving the idea of like.
I'm not talking about Somali
Well,
bullshit.
it's actually a lot of Toronto hood people because I see some of these pages. And
They do that.
They do that as
but
well.
a Confederate flag guy.
Dude, they're all
being like,
superstitious.
that
They're
ain't
all-
my flag, and it's like he's talking about the trans flag. He's like, where I come from, the rainbow. He likes the old flag.
Did you
He
see
doesn't
they
like
made the
keep
British
updating
flag?
it.
The British flag, they made one that's more inclusive, that's like lavender and shit.
Oh, it's even more.
Which, by the way, first of all, it's an empire. There's nothing more inclusive than that. It included everyone at one point. Secondly, there's already a strong undercurrent of gay shit in your actual British flag, just so you know. There's a lot of ass fucking just built into your flag. You don't have to
Tell us about the Gamergate 2 before we go. So, because you're sort of tapped into the
Somebody-
game stuff.
Well, okay, so the only reason I am is because I bought that Spider-Man game one time when I was
That's
bored.
how you get in.
And because it was cool, the first one, but the second one, so Mary Jane has this big fat fucking homely ass face. She's junk in the mug, is how I put it.
Junk in the-
She's a model. This bitch is a model. You know they've been uglying up the women on purpose in games.
I've definitely been doing
Oh, yeah.
The
that.
actresses
Remember
are
how hot Laura Croft
the
used to be?
actresses are beautiful that come in and they fucking man them up.
If you wanted to make him ugly, just keep him a man in the first place.
Oh, is this
You're going full circle?
Is this with the trans person and they made her like
it's not.
the fucking-
No. This is a consulting firm.
Why make him then a girl and then a girl that was a guy again? Just keep him a guy in the first place.
You're missing the point of why they're doing this.
All right.
They're doing it to destroy a thing that the guy they imagine would like. So remember Anita Sarkeesian, one, by the way, who just married herself in a birthday ceremony. She got
Who
married-
did?
Or Anita Sarkeesian from the first Gamergate. She got married to herself on her birthday.
I saw that. That was her.
Like
she
she's
did a
Rodman.
birthday ceremony, and it was like they did like a fake marriage, and it was her birthday.
Yeah.
Imagine being invited to that bullshit.
She has no friends, is what that tells me.
That's
People
crazy.
showed up and said, "Do this." You don't have a single friend. That's sad. Dennis Rodman already did it, by the way. A man already did it. Way better. Okay. So, like Brianna Wu's a famous one, and I saw this when I used to talk to Saga. I messaged him. He from Breaking Points. Brianna Wu consulted with the Department of Homeland Security. So remember this is why with ISIS I used to joke. It's nice of Islamic terrorists not
What
to attack.
possibly are they consulting with her about?
Don't you know who the new terrorists are?
I got you.
Gamers.
And now,
she's an expert
ready for the
on
worst part? The people
bad
they're
whites.
consulting with are a lot of Canadian companies. So think of those fucking wokies. And they have influence on Five Eyes nations. So what happened is, it's not a mystery. People go, why are they making these things that aren't profitable? Why are well, because you're really close to the answer. They are profitable, just not from you, peasant. They're profitable because the top people are so fucking rich now that they can afford to make shit no one wants as a punishment. Basically, Trump voters, when Trump got in, That was the same as when Palestine voted for Hamas and they decided to lock them in a camp. You, the deplorables, you are Hamas if you voted for Trump. And they've been punishing you. Oh, subverting expectations, right? Oh, did you think you thought Luke Skywalker was going to be cool, the new Star Wars? Well, we thought Hillary would be president. I guess we had all. I guess all our expectations have been subverted. What? No, I'm just doing a job. What? So it's like they're torture. So basically, it came out
what they want.
a company called Sweet Baby, which is a Canadian of the same configuration I know you're imagining, of like sass curl, black girl, white girl whose hair is too short. She's could be hot, but she looks like shit. 3 white guys are the biggest pussies that ever lived. Plenty of Indians. Oh man, when people attack Jews, you know how much misery Indians wreck on your life. You need Jews to fend off the Indians, if you want my advice. Oh, definitely extra credit getting Chinese, not the cool from China Chinese who aren't woke. The commies are not woke. The kind ABCs that are born here and act like they're black people, and you know you're not. They all have a consulting company. So to get your fucking ESG shit, DEI money, okay, your private equity money, you just got to hire, like Jesse Jackson's Rainbow Coalition with shakedown companies, a bunch of these dipshit bitches based off the fact that you're a fucking terrorist and you're a terrorist because of boys. The new terrorists are domestic. See, that's the reason this thing's going to fly, bringing Muslim back, because you've been telling the white guys.
I know, it is. They lost all their propaganda.
It's a beautiful, you don't have to do anything except let them fucking, it's collapsing. The White Pill, that Michael Malice book, I didn't read it, but his thesis I agree with. Soviet Union collapsed under its own weight because it was too centralized, it was untenable, it wasn't working, and eventually people's eyes work. And that's happening right fucking now. Shane got on SNL. You people are like, oh, how was Shane's monologue? First of all, it was great, but who gives a fucking shit about that? He's back on SNL.
Do you know what I said about people that were saying it was bad? Like, I feel like you'd appreciate this, but because they were sort of, their big point was they were like, oh, he was kind of like, oh, nothing on that, like a little bit, even though it worked. I was like maybe a normal person, but
people want to see what they want to see.
Okay, but a comedy writer, that would be the equivalent of watching like Woody Allen and being like, he seemed nervous the whole time. Like, you know what I mean?
That's right.
Like, you don't understand it.
If I laughed at it, then it's funny. It doesn't matter what the people that wait in line for SNL tickets think.
Right.
You fuck. It doesn't matter what a bitch that writes for the Atlantic thinks, or who thinks Andrew Huberman, I care that he fucks pussy and he's awesome. You stupid bitch. I'm saying stupid bitch openly because you can. It's over.
We're back.
Thank you for that thing, Hamas. I condemn you, but I approve of woke being fucking dead. So the next host was what? That girl's sweet tits. Now, titties. It's not that it's just tits. It's tits and a smile. It's not this. Remember this face?
You're so right. The reason why people like the tits is because she was a smile.
So what does that tell you? They're running out.
They weren't yelling at you.
Yeah, they're running out of fake money to pay these phonies for their fake jobs, ruining shit. It's not the left. These crazies would never be hired anywhere unless a very rich person wanted it that way. So when people go, like, that's why what I don't like about Tim Pool is like there is no left. This is wrestling. If you believe in it, that there are two sides. How is it that
that's a crazy thing to believe? Yeah,
that like there's two sides
at this point. Yeah.
People believe it in their heart to this day. Okay, and to let go of it would be like letting go of Jesus Christ after he was saved. But I love watching the meltdown. Keith Olbermann.
Oh, lunatic.
He's a fucking Lamau.
Friend of the pod.
Yeah, mental case.
I call him a Lamau cow.
Him and Brett Gelman are our favorites.
Oh my! Brett
Gelman must be
he's a piece of shit. Because I saw Sam Hyde at fucking Skankfest, and I was like, dude, fucking Heidecker's a piece of shit. Because Sam Hyde's show was like very similar to Tim and Eric in their sense of humor. If you find some weird freaks and then do it
was kind of like Adult Swim style.
And Tim Heidecker saw something that resembled his thing and hated it. Like Tim Heidecker's. I never met the uglier one. He's probably nicer, but Tim Heidecker.
He's kind of doing the thing right now where he's sort of trying to go back to being funny, and he's kind of making fun of conservative commentators that are wacky, which is like fine, and a lot of times he's right, but it's like, yeah, but you're that. Like, we already watched you be that.
You're gonna go pretend a man is a woman later, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, I'm not
trashing the Quran no more. Okay, if you took the Quran out of the equation, it's not going to make them like being starved to death anymore.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
all
yeah.
refuges for the not wanting to see it. It's really just Sunni and Shia. You know why that's such a thing? Is because we made it that way. All the shit that sucks.
Everywhere has its version of their two things, right?
Right, but then you send people in to play it up even more to make sure. See, you can't really control everything. They don't need to control everything. What they need to do is destabilize things and take their shit. And that's what they're doing to you. That's why you're, not you, but arguing about remember, North Korea's going to have nukes and we had to worry? Remember that? North Korea's about to get nukes. Seth Rogen, and then Trump called him Little Rocket Man. He's going to kill us. I mean, Seth Rogen had made a movie where he kills him. But okay, whatever. I remember the fear of where North Korea gets a nuke, and then they got nukes. They have them. And then my memory goes blank. And when I came to, we were arguing if women have dicks or not. Do you think you live in a normal place? You don't. So now I'll hear out anybody's crazy thing. I'll hear it out. Flat Earth, look, I'll hear you. It's harmless. You're not a harm to anyone. If the Earth is flat, it changes nothing for anyone. Nothing will be changed for anyone if the Earth is flat.
Well, it's the same thing I was
Maybe some
saying.
engineers, but
Yeah, and that's the same thing I was saying with Colbert. It's like, okay, you can be into your fucking girl conspiracies, but you don't get to now say that the other conspiracies are not allowed.
I bet you he will. I have a feeling.
Oh, of course, he already did a crying apology to Kate Middleton, being like, I'm not the misinformation guy.
No.
He didn't cry, but
Is he transitioned fully
he
yet?
one step away from cried.
Sweet Park, I apologize to you, and you can ride this dick anytime, even though you're not that hot, because you have something more important. You were right. Cancel Colbert.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kurt Metzger, Jimmy Dore podcast. You're doing fucking what, 4 days a week right now?
3 days a week.
3 days a week. That's a lot.
PTSD every goddamn day.
Gutfield tomorrow
Yeah.
at Kurt Metzger Comedy.
And
on
then,
everything, I believe. And
if this comes
date,
out,
Friday.
I'm in Baltimore. Friday, Saturday, I'm at Magoobies and
I was just there. I saw your poster everywhere.
really?
Yeah, someone drew a Hitler on it.
Oh, that's smart. That's engagement. That shows engagement with the algorithm. That's good. But yeah, if you're in Baltimore, I mean, they just had that weird tugboat 9/11.
That's what I'm saying. Dude, I really want, I haven't looked too deep into it, but I saw some of the videos where people were sort of saying like, oh, if you look here, it's exploding. And I was like,
No, it
kind of
didn't
seems like a
explode.
light.
Dude, Alex Jones
No,
had
it
people
didn't explode.
calling in.
You were
that-
just with Alex Jones. What's his idea on the
they were
Baltimore? You
covering-
guys have the scoop.
that they didn't know. He didn't know. He's the most accurate reporter. Just so you know, just to throw this in, if you go back and check out his predictions, he didn't do what they say he did
Well,
about.
it's not that hard. Don Lemon shooting 0%.
He has 99% accuracy of the things that he said we're gonna. That it's fucking insane, actually. Like even because the thing sounds stupid, like the frog's gay. That was a real thing. And
Yeah.
it's mutating all your kids into those gray head aliens. You know those gray slit mouth aliens.
There kind of was a little.
Would you stick your dick in their mouth? The slit. The gray aliens, if they grabbed you, would you stick your cock in their mouth?
It depends
So-
how many beers I had that
would.
night.
I would do that first. I would fuck
If I
them
had a
up.
depends what
couple.
time it is.
Yeah.
If
I
I-
think they're like the intergalactic like pedophile dolls to fuck with.
If I,
They have Greta Thunberg body and they're a little mouth slit.
you're telling me coming out of a bar late at night, you were really going hard.
No, first thing is, yeah.
I only had one.
Always a
Shot my
fucking-
mouth off a lot on this one.
I feel like I feel like I'm okay at being the Kurt Wrangler. We got through our topics.
Ain't no wrangling me when I get 3 claws in.
All right, peace.